How long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we say fuck this piece shit and grab them clappers? How long before we lose our voices shouting Black Lives Matter? How long we gon' keep letting them disrespect our president? How long we gon' keep letting them terrorize our residents? I'm sick of this shit, it's word to Bernie Mac. How long before we police ourselves, take our own streets back? How long for Uncle Tom here and hate on this shit? How long before they take a shot at me for making this shit? How long I gotta wait for justice for Josiah Shaw? How long we gotta fake it till we can take it and whack 'em all? How long we not gonna make these youngers pull their pants up? How long we gon' keep letting them shoot us down with our hands up? How long we gon' keep killing our own and making these streets hot? How long will what I say to you stay with you when the beats stop? How long's your attention span? How long you watch the news? You ain't down to shake shit up with the rebels for the cause? I ain't talking to you.
Hey, yo, what's going on, my people? How y'all doing today? It's your boy, Mr. Provoke Thoughts, and we are in the building today, and we ready to roll with another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, man. I'm glad to have y'all in the building, man. Glad to see you, and we finna make some things happen, bro. Last night, we had a really, really interesting situation as far as, we was looking at Joe Biden and looking at some of the things that he said recently as far as, our, immigrant problem, our illegal problem, our newcomer problem. Either way, no matter how you slice and dice this shit, it's a fucking problem. He had the absolute nerve to say that the illegals built this country. That is like one of the biggest lies ever told, one of the biggest lies of all times. When there are so many people that can lay claim to that same fact, whether it be Black Americans that were slaves in this country, white Americans in this country, Irishmen, anybody can stake a claim besides somebody who came over here undocumented, looking for a way out of their life, and getting grants and loans and all type of stuff to enrich their life. Things that us as Americans have to jump through hoops of fire to actually get. And I don't think that it's fair to put that comparison or even put that on these people that are coming over here. And of course they're going to be willing to work. Hell, shit. I mean, they're coming from, squalor, basically. So, I just want to, of course we got to do some things because, Richard Hur today was in front of the, in front of, I guess, the Judiciary Committee in regards to Joe Biden and his documents that he's had for over 50 years. Even when he was a senator, he was hoarding documents from the government for himself to, I don't know what he was doing it for intelligence or, for money, a book, $8 million book that he was writing or whatever. But the thing of it is that it's absolutely ridiculous that Donald Trump is actually being charged for the same thing that he's been doing for 40 years. And the reason why they choose not to charge Joe Biden is because they feel as if he is some well-being old geezer that cannot figure it out. So what I want to do is I want to kind of plug us in with some footage, man. This is shout out to Professor Nez, who is actually really has great content, and he speaks upon all of these things that we're looking at and talking about. And there's a couple other things I'm gonna get into tonight, of course, but at the same time we're going to get into this. These are actually, this is the hearing, this is what we're looking at, this is what we're seeing, this is factual stuff, and it is tripped the hell out.
I conducted a thorough, independent investigation. We identified evidence that the president willfully retained classified materials after the end of his vice presidency when he was a private citizen. This evidence included an audio recorded conversation during which Mr. Biden told his ghostwriter that he had, quote, just found all the classified stuff downstairs, end quote. When Mr. Biden said this, he was a private citizen speaking to his ghostwriter in his private rental home in Virginia.
That was Special Counsel Robert Hur, who, if you guys remember, was Special Assistant Director to the AG, Attorney General of the United States of America, who was the one who wrote the report upon interviewing our president, Joseph Biden, that he was in cognitive decline and he was too old. And his memory basically saying he was too old to be tried for any criminal charges. Well, he just went live with the Senate committee, and he just went live. It was live all over, breaking news, huge. A lot of you guys were asking me, hey, Nez, are you going to live stream this thing? I knew that 99% of it was going to be really boring and political theater. Oh my gosh, Schiff and Solwell and Raskin. I mean, all they did was bash Trump. They haven't learned anything. That the more you guys bash Trump, the more that you guys deflect, you're only increasing his popularity and you're just making your guy look weaker because you cannot state one single thing that this guy can run on. You cannot state one attribute, one leadership quality, one presidential achievement that you can stand on. You have to just literally bash the other guy. And that's pretty much all they did. I was very, very impressed with Jim Jordan. I was very, very impressed with Representative Gates. But literally every single Democratic chair, Nadler, is a joke. They all just bashed Trump. That's all they did. And so I'm going to share you the best highlights. You don't have to go anywhere. I'm going to share you the best highlights. And from what you just heard right there from Special Counsel Hur, who again resigned from the DOJ recently to give this testimony and to make sure that he can give this testimony with complete freedom, ethos, and honesty, literally said that President Biden willfully held classified documents, not only in his garage, but multiple places as he was vice president. And I'm going to talk to you about this at the end. But let's check out Jim Jordan, because I think Jim Jordan's questioning is by far the most prescient, the most effective, emphatic, and really illustrates the hypocrisy of Biden and all of these minions that he has. Check this out.
Back, the chair is recognized. Mr. Hur, why did he do it? Why did Joe Biden, in your words, willfully retain and disclose classified materials? I mean, he knew the law. Been in office like 50 years, 5 decades in the United States Senate, chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, 8 years as vice president. He got briefed every day as vice president. He's been in the Situation Room. In fact, you know he knew the rules because you said so on page 226. President Biden was deeply familiar with the measures taken to safeguard classified documents. And Joe Biden told us he knew the rules. Mr. Armstrong said this earlier. Joe Biden was deeply familiar with it. You're exactly right, because he told us when Jack Smith goes after President Trump, Joe Biden says, how could this happen? What data was in those documents that could compromise sources and methods? It's irresponsible. So Joe Biden knew the rules. You know he knew the rules. And Joe Biden told us he knew the rules. So, Mr. Hur, why did he break them?
Congressman, the conclusion as to exactly why the president did what he did is not one that we explicitly address in the report. The report explains my decision to the Attorney General that no criminal charges were warranted in this manner.
I think you did tell us. I think you told us, Mr. Hur. Page 231, you said this. President Biden had strong motivations. That's a key word. We're getting to motive now. President Biden had strong motivations to ignore the proper procedures for safeguarding the classified information in his notebooks. Why did he have strong motivations? Because, use the next word, because he decided months before leaving office to write a book. To write a book, that was his motive. He knew the rules, he broke them because he was writing a book. And you further say, and he began meeting with the ghostwriter while he was still vice president. There's the motive. Mr. Herr, how much did President Biden get paid for his book?
Off the top of my head, I'm not sure if that information appears in the report.
Sure does. There's a dollar amount in there. You remember?
I don't, it may be 8 million. If
$8 million. Joe Biden had $8 million.
Asset management is foundational to cybersecurity and IT. But having
reasons to break the rules, took classified information and shared it with the guy who was writing the book. That's why he did. He knew the rules, but he broke them for $8 million in a book advance. But you know what? It wasn't just the money. Joe Biden, here's this page 231, very next page. Joe Biden, in your report, Joe Biden viewed his notebooks as an irreplaceable, contemporaneous record of the most important moments of his vice presidency. He'd written this all down for the book, for the $8 million. And the next thing you say in your report is, quote, such a record would buttress his legacy as a world leader. You know what this is? It wasn't just the money. It wasn't just $8 million. It was also his ego. Pride and money is why he knowingly violated the rules. The oldest motives in the book, pride and money. You agree with that, Mr. Herr? You wrote it in your report.
That language, and it does appear in the report, and we did identify evidence supporting those assessments.
You also had another interesting statement in your report. You said Joe Biden, I want to make sure I get this right, viewed himself as a man of presidential timber. Remember that statement, Mr. Herr?
I believe that does appear in the report, at least in the executive summary.
I think this is interesting because here's the scary part. Page 200. I said this earlier in my opening statement. Page 200, Joe Biden, this is a quote, Joe Biden risked serious damage to America's national security when he shared information with his ghostwriter. Shared it with his ghostwriter, the guy who was helping Joe Biden get $8 million. And oh, by the way, Mr. Herr, what did that ghostwriter do with the information Joe Biden shared?
These are documents, y'all, that are supposed to be classified because these are documents that you were supposed to keep to yourself when you were a senator. You weren't even supposed to even take them with you. They were supposed to stay where they was at. You ain't up on that level to where you can declassify anything. You would have to literally take it to the president and be like, hey, Mr. President, can we declassify that? And I'm almost certain that as a state senator, you didn't have the capabilities to just get up in most presidents' faces like that. It just kind of is what it is. What's going on, Brother Muse? How you doing?
Bro, how you doing, Prophet?
Man, I'm hanging in there. The amazing thing about life is that the gifts just keep on giving, man. This level of corruption is done popped off in our world is being thoroughly exposed.
And I'm sitting here listening to this. I'm just here to support, man. I ain't going to be giving no.
We gonna pivot, bro. Don't worry about it. The pivot coming.
It's
You just don't
amazing
know.
that these individuals hold a standard, and they really make sure that anyone that don't, as Pac said, stay within the boundaries of the rules get severely punished. But they themselves, at the same time, are committed the most heinous crimes. The nerve and the egotistical, narcissism, prideful heart of these individuals is just sickening. And that's why, and I yield back, Paul said there should be classes on how to understand politicians' double talk. It should be classes in our curriculum for that, but there's not.
No, I mean, and the reason why is because it's an indoctrination from the beginning.
Man, you picked up what I just laid down. I yield
Sit down. Shut up.
That's it.
Do what you're told.
That's it. Don't you dare. Don't you dare do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's it, man. Right in the face. Oh, you got a good following. You got some fan base. Oh, hey, come here. Let me talk to you. Hey, what you need? Want to get your mama a house? Hey, I'm gonna take care of your family. How much you need? You want to? What's your passion? You an artist? Or you a cook? You a chef? Or you a fashion girl? Hey, you got to. Hey, so this
Right.
you got to do.
Right.
You got to make sure you gonna say what we want you to say. You got to do these little symbols that other people on the server won't know what it is, but we know you signal us and letting us know you still
Look
down.
here.
You follow what I'm saying, bro?
That lady, what is her name? Did they be the dog cut out? The ugly black lady that be on Fox News. Did they say she have Donald Trump's haircut?
I don't
She loved him so much. I forget her name, but bro, she has literally zero content. Zero, and she's on the national stage. And she'll bring people on there and try to rebut things that come straight almost out of the Bible.
Wow.
Sometimes people, and it's so sad, their opinion, their sheer opinion can be bought or sold. And as pathetic as that is, it is what it is.
Yeah. I like what this dude. I'm saying
it is what it is.
He's trying to answer. Man, he telling you why he deliberately did it. He said, "Tell me why." And this man gonna answer like he playing. Woo, man, that just irks me, man. He said, woo.
I don't understand. Like, I don't know if you was listening yesterday, Muse, or whether you was. Did you see my live yesterday?
I tried to see a little bit. I can't remember. It was so busy yesterday. Well,
I played a clip. I played actually. Joe Biden did an interview after his State of the Union, address. In that interview, you know, it was a young lady that got killed named Lakin Riley. And she was killed by, and I'm going to call it like it is, an illegal. Somebody that's not here legally. Whether they ain't got the documents, because that's a part of the illegality. Because the thing about it is, if I ride around, they ask you for your ID. And if you don't have your ID, your black behind is going to jail.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah.
They don't catch and release. Lord knows what they do to us when they catch us.
Right.
And that's been going on since we got here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is real talk. This is, you know, straight lace, no chase. And I know that in this world, it's not supposed to be about color, and we're past a lot of different things in this world. I feel like that black people, if you work hard and do what you're supposed to do for yourself, and know that the world holds receipts, so you do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Right.
But at the same time, you know, we living in this world where we all need to come together and be on the same page, and not just because somebody's trying to force your opinion. You should be able to see clearly what's happening. We are moving so far away from what God loves, which what God loves is the truth.
Yeah, we do have an enemy that we must be acquainted. Do you remember that movie that Tom Cruise? I can't even remember this Asian guy. I don't even know if he's still living. He might be, but I've been seeing this stuff in that movie.
Listen. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Remember that movie Tom Cruise did called The Last Samurai?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Once Tom Cruise got to him, and he got to a part of the movie where he said, "Why are we having these conversations?" And the Asian guy, who's the leader, was walking away from Tom. He said, "So that I may know my enemy."
Right.
You catch that? I might not did verbatim the way he did it, but that's what he was saying. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Powerful movie. I ain't put all the killing, the flat and all that, but it's some stuff you can extract from that movie, man. That dialogue in there. You know what I mean? Powerful movie. To me, just me personally, aside from all the killing stuff, but if you just zero in on the stuff he said, I said, wow.
Mm-hmm.
To know my enemy. Because if you don't know you have an enemy, you're you walking dangerous ground.
Right. So like I said, we sitting here and we in the midst of this situation with Mr. Robert Hur, Jim Jordan, the Republican from Ohio, obviously a Trump supporter, or a Trump. Not, you know what? He's a Republican.
Right.
He's a Republican and a conservative. Look, his name is Jim Jordan. We don't have to put all the extra sauce on it. It's Robert Hur. We ain't gonna even put. We see what their titles are. Okay.
On this history of just politics.
Now,
clear for me for both when you get opportunity. What's the difference between the conservative and the liberal in the layman's sense? To just break it down real simple.
Well, a conservative is a person who believes. You know how they try to make it a bad thing sometimes that you are like, people had to have virtue. Like God and country.
Right. Okay.
You know, go to church every Sunday. Don't
Okay.
you know? Don't believes that what the Bible says about homosexuality and all of that stuff, and
Right.
that it's an abomination. That's what the Bible say.
Right.
Ain't nobody said it but the Bible.
Right.
So when you have a demographic of people that choose a lifestyle that they choose, that's pretty much the lifestyle that you choose.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're at a place where they're asking for people who know the gospel truth
Mm-hmm.
to say, okay, since you say that you are a girl, and I'm clearly looking at a man, that I have to acknowledge something that I don't and can't, with a common sense brain, possibly see. You are asking me to lie. I mean, is that not accurate? Is that not, that's, a conservative believes that your children should go to school and not be told that they are in the incorrect body.
Right.
The child that you maybe and your wife prayed for, or the child that you and your wife wanted, or the child that you and your girlfriend wanted, or whatever, child that y'all didn't want, but they came and y'all loved them anyway, it's your child. And you decide that you want to tell people how to raise their children until that you ain't got nothing to do with this. So basically, you telling me how to raise my child and telling me that they ain't no kid got no medical condition when they healthy, they need to chop anything off.
Right.
Ain't nothing gotta go. It all stays. Because if that's the case, you don't need your fingers neither. Let me get that eyeball. You don't need it. Since we can arbitrarily take things. So you're literally asking people to lie about what they see and who they are. You've taken females and you've insulted the shit out of them, because now we're asking the question, what is a woman? What are you talking about?
I just think what I see when I hear all of that is that
I don't know. I don't know. I'm feeling a little deep tonight, man, because this man, Mr. Biden, he done grinded my gears lately, and you sit here and this political stuff and the things that y'all did and the test dummies that y'all put out here for this RICO charge that y'all done put on our president, man, it makes me physically sick. You literally threw the king of R&B in jail on bogus charges. You think Trump don't understand what R. Kelly going through when he just had to drop $91 million for an appeal? To say I didn't do it, I don't know what's going on with these people. I honestly think that we need to start trying to find a way to write letters to Trump and send them to Mar-a-Lago about Mr. Kelly. Send him some information and put some of his people on it. What you think?
Yeah. I said that way back. Man. Yeah.
Because they crafted the ability to place ridiculous RICOs on people by attacking black artists with it. You got Young Thug under a RICO right now. Where they was literally trying to use the man's lyrics.
Yeah, but they don't want to say nothing about the lyrics of all of the rock and roll artists.
Right.
Far back you can go. You can go Kiss, AC/DC, and all those are demonic, groups. Black Sabbath, all that, the demonic stuff, they was all that stuff. You know what I mean? They don't say nothing about that. The Beastie Boys from back in the day. Come on, let's keep them honest. They just go.
But you're asking a lot, man. If you're coming in, make sure you hit that like button on the way in. Make sure you share, subscribe. If you want to support the channel, you know what it is. The Cash App is rolling right below the bottom of the screen. Hit me up if you want to buy me a coffee or something. Like I said, man, we sitting up here listening to this, man, and it's like, it's not fair how they do people. I don't care if you don't like them or not. And that's the issue that I have. People get treated different based off of whether somebody likes them or not. Then the Constitution goes out of the window depending on who it is.
Right.
And I'm talking about it could go either in your favor or not so much in your favor.
Oh.
Because people will throw that shit out of the window whenever they get the chance, whether it is to save somebody or throw somebody under the bus.
Yeah.
That same Constitution is riddled with violations that they pulled on R. Kelly.
Yeah. People act like they're not getting it until they come knocking at your door. Every box there, anyone can be touched. No one is exempt.
And like I said, Donald Trump, E. Jean Carroll is no different than any of those ladies that rolled up on R. Kelly, man. We can shake the spot with all of this. I'm trying to get, some of the people that are R. Kelly supporters' attention when it comes to what's going on in political, and I'm trying to get the political realm to see what's going on this side of the game.
Tied together. It's linked in it.
I don't want to, I'm not trying to make nothing crazy happen. I just want to get the truth out. Hold on, my phone is going. Give me 1 second, Muse. Go ahead and talk to the people in the chat, man, and just for a little hot second and give me a reprieve while I go and get my phone.
Blessing to everybody in the chat. Blessed to every household that's represented in the chat. God's blessing and grace and peace and joy be upon all of you all. How's everybody doing in the chat? What's some of your thoughts? What's some of your thoughts in the chat? Give me some of your thoughts. Anybody got no question in the chat? Where's everybody at? Where's everybody at? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's just pure evil. That's just pure evil. I was saying earlier, it's like they're trying to reverse the order of the Creator and what everything was intended to be, and trying to convince you of something else. Yeah, yeah. That's exactly what they're doing. The Kilroy girl. Yep, yep. I truly agree with you. I truly agree with you. Yeah. That's why platforms like this are so important for us to have good thinking minds come together. Oh wow. Yeah, I have to move. Yeah, I have to.
Yeah, I think I'm back, Cal. I'm back. I'm sorry, Gal. Phone got the ringing and stuff and tingling and got a little interest in there.
Yeah, that's crazy. And yeah. The government like it over there in China like that when it comes to that.
Yep.
That's pretty much the whole concept over here in America, though. That's pretty much, if like Fox said, if they got one set of rules, and if they feel that you don't follow these set of rules as they have established it, you know what I mean, as they have set out, then they're coming at you.
So basically, like I said, I kind of want to get back into this because man, dude is actually. I don't know if anybody is familiar with what's going on with these documents here, man. But it's the same old sneaky shit, the same old sneaky way. And it's crazy.
Shared with him on his laptop. What did he do after you were named special counsel?
Chairman, if you're referring to the audio recordings that Mr. Zwanitzer created of his conversations with
exactly
Mr. Biden,
what I'm referring to.
He slid, if I remember correctly, he slid those files into his recycle bin on his computer.
Tried to destroy the evidence, didn't he?
Correct.
The very guy who was helping Joe Biden get the $8 million Joe Biden used, the motive for Joe Biden to disclose classified information, to retain classified information, which he definitely knew was against the law. When you get named special counsel, what's that guy do? He destroys the evidence. That's the key takeaway in my mind. That's the key takeaway. I yield back.
So there you have it right there. I think Jim Jordan.
Oh, I swear to God, if that had been Trump, oh my God, look what they doing to Trump. They showing you the bias. Oh my God, the bias is right in your face. Trump got a trial date set damn near for the same shit. Bullshit. Bullshit.
And he said, tell him come on up, man. Wait, yeah, he in that chat. Tell him come on up.
I see my man. So I'm going ahead and fly a kite out there, see what's going on. Come on in.
How you put up his name again? No.
Yeah, won't you come on in? Say, come on in already. Say, come on in.
How you put up his name, Farouk?
Hello, everybody.
What's going on, sir?
I had to get everything set up. You know, I was behind the power curve.
Look, I'm running a little late myself, man. I'm just trying to make life happen, man. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm still at work.
trying to make life happen. You know, and I'll be honest with you, man. I'm diving into my bag, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you like this: Joe Biden ruined my life. And I'm sure there's plenty of people that can say that.
Well, yeah, and does this have to do like specifically with like what you do and probably what you were doing at the time when everything just went smelly?
Yeah.
Yeah, same here, brother.
Joe Biden ruined my life.
Same here. I used to work for a company that built flight simulators for small military contracts. And man, that was like working in a candy store. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My job was to make 21 computer systems all talk to each other.
Yeah. You know,
and then Biden happened. Yeah.
You know, it's crazy because to this day, you got companies that are still use the excuse of COVID and the ripple effect that had to terminate you.
Yep, it happened on my job.
It happened to me.
Yeah. And it's not the companies that are using it as an excuse though, because for the most part, the companies got hit just as hard, if not harder,
And I won't even lie to you guys, man. If it wasn't for sheer ingenuity and a go-getter spirit, I don't even think that I would have made it through it, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it's to a point where you get, it's literally scary out here for the common person.
Oh yeah.
When they tell you that the income that you need to make it is $33 an hour.
Yeah.
You got to be shitting me. When the fuck did we get there?
What I think, at least, and it's not a fix all, but one of the things that I think does need to happen is that in my mind, big cities are a consumer of everything. And for the most part, what do they produce? Paperwork, logistics, garbage. There's not many cities anymore that actually produce something. It's like there's no more steel in Pittsburgh, as an example. But I mean, all of these cities and the small cities and towns that are out in the rural areas and everything, they need to be put back together and function as small communities. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because the cities are going to kill everybody.
Like I said, it's so fearful, man. You don't know what's next, and it's like, like I said, I'm literally like going back to doing things like the stuff that I'm doing right now and the conversations that I'm having. I've always been able to have them, even when I was younger. Even when I was in my 20s, I could carry a conversation like this because I've always been aware. There's a scourge on this earth that's just trying to take from all of us, man.
Did you watch the video that I linked to you in the comments for the show yesterday?
I believe I did. I might have watched it as I was going down last night because sometimes I do that. I'll be watching stuff that people send me and end up falling asleep and actually wake up with a profound understanding of
Yeah, well, I want once you get a few folks on that are really like familiar with all the goings on with the R. Kelly scenario and everything else, and you watch this video. All right.
You know what? I would say this. You know what I like to do? I like to watch it together. Send it back to me, man. Send it back to me.
Let me get you an actual link though, because it'll let me post links in the chat because the Queen made me a moderator, so it'll let me post.
I thought I thought I'd already made you a mod.
No, she did already, or somebody did.
I made you both a mod at the same time.
Oh, okay. And so, but yeah,
Yeah,
what I'm
but,
saying is
but,
I
you-
can
but, you,
send
but
it.
you have more case. She probably upped your ante because and I don't have a problem with that because she's cool.
Yeah, but it'll
Niecy,
actually
Niecy
let
Mo, where you at? Shit.
yeah. Let me see.
Yeah,
Let me
Joe
find.
Biden literally sat there and said last night that they built this country, man.
I know. I
Oh
mean,
man, that literally almost broke me. I was like, I can't believe that this motherfucker said that shit.
hey, and
Uh,
congratulations on the context window in your last video.
oh, when? What? Oh, what happened?
They've got on your last video, the show that you did last night.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a context window up there for the Bohemian Club. Now, get
Oh
this.
wow.
I don't even remember us talking about the Bohemian Club. I mean,
Mm.
we talked briefly about BlackRock, maybe twice, but and so yeah, there's a context window up there, which means that they're aware that you're back of the bus kid now.
Okay, say okay. They're like,
hmm
yeah, all
Yeah, we're
right.
gonna keep an eye on this guy because yep. But I mean, the funny part is that the context that they provided, it didn't even apply to our conversation.
Probably not. It was just
Yeah.
look a little clickbait maybe.
If not a little clickbait, I think it's just like, oh, you know what? We're going to tag this guy with a context window so the other mods can see that he's been tagged with a context window, and we'll just keep an eye on him because he's,
Okay.
you're probably not saying the things that, they want you to say.
Okay. Well, shit.
All right, I see. Now I
You
got
know
the link. Let me get up in
they.
here.
You know what? You know what? Because I'm a realist.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you were going to see some of that in this video too. You're going to like this video. Now, a couple of the folks, the other night when I mentioned Andrew Tate, they're like, who? Andrew Tate? Who's that? Well, this is like R. Kelly number 2, or whatever number they're up to now. I don't, however many people they've done this to or are attempting to do this to now. And it, yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's some sick shit, man. When you really think about it, and I know that, like I said, you probably hit the rabbit hole a little bit. Like, oh shit, it gets crazy as soon as you jump in, and you've been riding with me on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah,
So,
and the thing is that Andrew Tate is somebody that I've been aware of, but I wasn't really I was only kind of half listening. You know what I'm saying? But since coming in here and
At the end of
talking,
all of this, no matter what
to
happens,
all
do you
you
plan to
guys, I
mhm.
mean it's that, like I said, when you hear this guy speak and you hear his story, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, here we go again. So yeah,
Mhm.
let me shut up now.
Yeah, let's make it happen. Hold on.
at the end of all of this, no matter what happens, do you plan to stay in Romania?
I love Romania. I love this country. And if I am found not guilty, I will stay in Romania. Yeah, I will still stay here. I don't believe in running away. I also believe, and perhaps this is...
Yeah, I didn't even want to ask you that because
No,
you've
but-
got a legal case pending, but I mean, presumably you're rich enough to run away when you haven't.
Correct. I'm not going anywhere. I think if I was anywhere in the Western world, this would have happened to me. I don't think this is Romania's fault. Let's put it that way. I don't think this is Romania's fault. I think if I resided in Switzerland or France or Italy, the same thing would happen. From knowing what I know, I think it was going to happen to me regardless. And I think I do have a large amount of sympathy, especially amongst the Romanian population. I get thousands of messages a day from Romanians apologizing to me. I think the people here actually like me.
My waiter at lunch yesterday is one of them.
Is
He
he one of
wanted you to know, yeah.
Oh, amazing. This is what I mean. Everyone understands what's happening. My problem is not with Romania. I don't hold any personal grudges against Romania. I think that this Matrix attack was going to come to me.
What is the Matrix?
Good question. I guess some Americans call it the deep state, but I like to look at it in a more global way. When I say the Matrix, I think there are certain agendas which are being pushed. I think the media machine and the judicial systems of the world work together hand in hand. I think the goal is to control people's minds to a point where they don't discuss anything that's important. The reason I use The Matrix is because I've watched that movie a few times and it has so many similarities to the... Have you seen the movie?
No.
You've never seen the movie The Matrix?
No, I don't watch any movie.
Tucker.
I don't want to talk about it on camera. No, I'm very dyslexic and it's hard for me to watch video.
Got it.
Honestly.
Understood. But there's so many similarities, and the basic premise is that humans' minds are controlled and put inside of a false reality so that their body heat can be manifested for the machines. And I don't think it's much different.
Damn.
Have you seen the movie?
Damn. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. Shit.
Yep, it gets better. It gets better.
To reality, our minds are controlled. We're put in a false version of reality. We're told things that aren't true. We're arguing over things that don't matter. We're observing a false version of events. And the goal of it is just
fake ass news
to distract us long enough for our bodies to be used for the machines, to soulless. And I think it's pretty similar.
Through the television screen.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
And social
Pretty
media.
similar, striking.
Yeah, and the fucking phones.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a camera on that bitch. While you looking at it, it's looking back at you.
Yep.
Snatching your soul and shit.
And I mean, even if you're downloading and playing free video games or whatever, even in those things, they're going to try to pump the message.
And they know what the fuck is going on, and that's why they're trying to get people, they're trying to ban TikTok.
Oh, yeah. And for other reasons too. It's because, and now get this. On TikTok, if you're a TikTok user, maybe you have seen this before. You can go in and bitch to your congressman and senator about them trying to cancel TikTok. And when you click the buttons, they already know your name, your voting district, everything else. All you got to do is click a button, and it'll auto-generate an email off to your governors and senators.
Wow.
That right there is reason alone to ban TikTok, because they're not supposed to be collecting that information.
Mm-hmm. But when you allow these applications to know your location, that is exactly what's happening.
Even then, you are relying upon somebody else's code to ensure this for you. And so how much do you trust that code? How much do you trust the third party code for the for the application that you're running? It might say it doesn't collect anything. It might say it's not looking at your location, but do you actually know?
The crazy shit is this. I got Google cameras all around the perimeter of my shit. If a crime
I would never do it.
If a crime happens, pretty much they'll just pull. They say they're not recording it, but they'll pull the recordings.
Of course they will. And if you were to do that system over again, the server should be local to you. It should be your hardware. And then if you do hold any of that data in cloud space, then you encrypt it and send it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anytime all these people, they got Ring doorbells and all this kind of other jazz. Hell yeah, it's all being recorded.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on how deep into the rabbit hole you want to go, I even have my suspicions about where it's being stored.
Yeah.
Instead of watching,
might be getting stored underground on a server right next to the government cheese.
If you've got a horse track that is consuming like 10 times as much electricity as a horse track should consume, there might be something else.
Right. Crazy shit, huh?
Yep. So yeah, take a look at the horse track in Hot Springs, Arkansas one day when you're bored.
I mean, well, shit. You know that they are they still looking for? Are they still looking for all of the bodies in Tulsa, Oklahoma?
I don't know.
That was some interesting. Now, we'll get into that American story another day.
Yeah. Yeah, because this is just warming up, by the way. This guy's about to go golden. His hair hasn't even turned yellow yet.
Oh, okay. You talking about Tucker?
Tucker and Tate. I mean, Tate is the one that's about to put the smackdown on the whole thing. And like I
Oh,
said,
shit.
the
Y'all
story
wake up.
is going to sound way familiar, you know.
Mm.
And so, yeah.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Let's get it.
Similarities. And even then, there's a bunch of other similarities which are difficult for me to explain. You haven't watched the movie, but there are agents inside of the Matrix. And the idea of the agent, the purpose of the agent is to make sure that nobody understands how the Matrix really works and to wake anybody's mind up. They want to keep you asleep. And any person can become an agent at any time. If they're not unplugged, if their mind is not free, they can become an agent, and their job is to keep you asleep. And you see agents all the time. COVID awoken me to agents. When I would sit and talk to somebody and they seemed perfectly rational and normal until I mentioned COVID, and then they'd fully change. No, it's dangerous. No, what do you mean? What do you mean? Are you crazy? My grandma got sick. And they became an agent instantly and started repeating the news to me. And I was like, your grandma got sick. How old is she? 97? Interesting. Oh, I better lock myself in my house then. Dumbass. So agents exist and the Matrix exists, and I think most people's
how many times have you talked about R. Kelly before, and then to somebody, and then they start repeating to you the news?
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, paired in the fucking news, like, but they said he got females trapped in the basement. Then they say this, and they say he's a monster.
Yep. These are the Matrix agents, and if you remember the movie, old Neo standing there, he's got a gun pointed to his head, and then he just boop turns into an agent.
Crazy shit.
Wait till you hear what happened to this guy. All right.
Let's keep it rolling.
Version of the world is a false one. The idea and the world that most people have in their mind and how society functions and how all these things function, I genuinely believe is completely false. I think they've all been lied to. I don't think anybody understands how any of the world works. And I try and use some very simple analogies to wake people up. I said to one of my friends once, I said, if me and you could play video games for $10,000 and you could cheat, would you cheat? He goes, well, no. I was like, if I was whooping your ass and it was 10 grand a game and you could cheat, would you cheat? He goes, yeah. I was like, all right, so you accept that people cheat to win in a video game for a menial amount of money. You think they're not going to cheat for something that matters?
Like an election.
Right. Or an office.
Or the World Series.
Or a wrestling match.
I mean, but we know. At least they're honest enough to tell us shit. Look.
Right.
And this guy is. And so he has committed several crimes. Okay. His first crime is that he says what's on his mind. His second crime is that he's got some lyrics and stuff out there that are some people don't appreciate. And the third crime that he's committed is that he's made himself rich.
Okay.
All right.
Well, let's go.
All right.
Well,
I think this
You're not going to cheat for something important? You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
how about to get the most important job in the world, President of the United States?
I would never kill myself.
I mean, people kill each other over insurance fraud. You don't think, right? Yeah.
So when you actually understand how the world really works, what was really interesting? I remember there was this big military coup was it Myanmar or Burma? One of these, there was a big military coup like a year ago or something. And nobody really cared. They mentioned it on the news a little bit. And I looked at it, I looked into it, and they were talking about how the two political parties were almost 50-50, and then in the 90s, something changed, and now one political party just smokes the other one, and the military took over to restore democracy and all this stuff. It's very interesting, the voting machines they used. Really interesting, something to look into.
A lot of countries like that. Philippines, also true. Why do you think support for the war in Ukraine, support for Ukraine's side in the war against Russia, support for a war against Russia in the West, is kind of the the bottom line issue for the people who run the U.S. government and for the American media. Why? I mean, I guess you could argue about it, but there isn't an argument about it in the United States. There's a position, and anyone who doesn't hold it is attacked and punished. Why? Why is that so important?
Yeah, I, up until this point, never really commented too heavily on politics.
Yes.
But
I'm actually pretty riveted. That's why I haven't said anything. This is some interesting shit.
And I promise you, it's going to come back around to what those things that your channel is about.
I'm ticking up the roller coaster. Right now, I can feel it. It's like tick 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 tick, getting up to the top. I'm ready to fall, and I know it's about to happen. Let's go. Okay.
I understand very well. I like to believe what's happening with Ukraine and Russia. And what I will say to the people who are watching this at home is that if you are naive enough to believe that there are good guys and bad guys in wars, and it's as simple as good and bad, and that the bad guys are crazy and the good guys want freedom, then you need to do a little bit more investigation into what's really happening. And when you look at the vested interest of any country or any person.
Can I just ask you to pause and just comment? That's the truest thing, what you just said.
Absolutely.
And anyone who doesn't understand that should shut the fuck up. And I mean it. Having seen war, anyone who's telling you that it's Churchill versus Hitler is an idiot.
Complete. Well, I'll give you an example. When my father was still alive, my father.
Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, no, it's true. When my father was still alive, my father died 6 or 7 years ago. I was a lot younger. The war in Afghanistan was going on.
He died 6 or 7 years ago. How old was he?
56.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, he died. But the war in Afghanistan was going on.
But do you hear what he did?
I remember asking my dad, saying, "Why do the Taliban even fight and resist the American war machine? They don't stand a chance. Like, why are these terrorists even fighting against the American war machine?" And my dad said, "They're fighting for their way of life. They want their wife and they want their children and they want their society and their language, and they don't want pride flags, and they don't want American bullshit, and they don't want to be told what to do. And they're fighting to be a culture and be a people which is independent in and of itself. Like, they're not the bad guys you think they are. They're people who are like, why are you here? What do you want? We don't agree with that. That's against our holy book. Fuck off." Right? So even there's no.
I like it. I like it a lot. It makes sense. Like, what are you doing here?
Hey, if I'm broke, I'm gonna step out and come back in because I got to get ready to punch out.
Hey, bro, we already know how you get down. If you want to leave it up or whatever, I'll see you in a minute. Don't worry about it. It's all right.
Okay.
Okay.
No such thing as good and bad in any war. And people.
Who was your father?
My father was a chess master. He worked for the CIA when he was a linguist for the CIA, and then he was
American.
He was discharged, and for a story I won't tell, but he was a chess master, and it's very interesting. I encourage people to look at his Twitter. He still has Twitter at Tate Terrific, and everything he was talking about 11 years ago is so important now. 11 years ago, no one cared about. We had the Donbass in 2014. People cared.
Yes.
People cared a bit, but he predicted the future. You want to see how chess players can see the future? Read his Twitter. Everything from LGBTQ, why they need your kids because they can't have their own, to the war that's.
Damn. Oh, good Lord. Shots fired. They need your kids because they can't have their. Let's go.
Coming, and how Europe's going to have an energy crisis to the letter. It's all on his Twitter. It's amazing to read. It's like you could tell the future. 10 years ago, no one talked about any of this stuff.
Did he live in the U.S.?
Yes. Yeah, he lived in America.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's crazy. But he was telling me about a lot of this stuff even when I was a lot younger. And as we said, there's no good guys and bad guys. But when you have a vested interest in something, I think that people are relatively simple. You're talking about why the American government has such a vested interest in this war.
Which is not good for America.
Which is not good for America. So is it, well, we can say it's for money or we can say it's for power. What else would it be for? What is it really for freedom and democracy? Well, I think that's already been destroyed by Zelensky, hasn't it? So
yes.
What is it for if it's not for money and power? And then you say, well, who's the money and the power going to? These are logical conversations. It's a very logical thought process.
I agree.
You know, wouldn't it be interesting to say, okay, I woke up, I'm an American. I would never kill myself. I woke up, I'm an American. Why does America care?
You know,
Well,
I
I
keep
guess it's
saying
for
that,
money or
right?
power. There's no other reason. Okay.
Oh, hold on.
America
Let's
wants to be a
pause
rich,
it.
powerful country. That's fine.
Which phrase?
I would never kill myself.
Because if he dies and they try to make it seem like a suicide,
Yep.
he wants the world to know
Yep.
he would never kill himself.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Got to pay attention to everything somebody's saying there.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
that's
so
why Paul.
that's the third time he said it already.
You know, so I didn't ask because I was ignorant to the phrase that was being said. I just wanted you to make sure, reiterate why I paused and everything, because I'm like, I get it. I'm like, he keep on saying it just in intervals so they'll know.
Yep. And then right after this aired, and this is kind of a spoiler alert, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you because it's not in this video. Right after this video aired, they arrested him again.
Wow.
Is the money and power going to America, or is it going to a select few individuals? Are those select individuals interested in me in my life? Do they care about benefiting me? Do I need to support the power grab of these select few individuals? Is that going to be a smart move for me to make, for me to have the best possible human experience? Like, this is a very logical thought process.
Yes.
People don't seem to think anymore. They believe that there's a good guy and there's a bad guy, and one team's completely good and one team's completely bad. One team's crazy. They often use the word crazy because to be completely bad, you have to be crazy, right? So you're crazy. He's crazy just for no reason. Reasonless. It's insanity. I don't know if you saw Lukashenko with the BBC. Did you ever see that interview?
No.
Oh, brother. Please watch it. The way he destroys the BBC. I thought I did the best job, but I take second place. Amazing. Amazing. But yeah, and you just have to be critically thinking. And then after you're critically thinking, you have to be brave enough. And this is the real pandemic of the world, is cowardice. You have to be brave enough to look around you and realize, everything was a trick. Everything was a lie.
But why not be a coward? I mean, it's just a lot easier, right?
Well, it used to be. This is the thing that's interesting. I would actually argue in the 1950s and 60s, if you were to agree with every single narrative and obey every single law and do exactly what you were supposed to do and pay your taxes, etc., you'd at least get a wife who respected you. You'd at least have children who could go to school without being indoctrinated to a degree. You could have a nice house. You could have a pickup truck. You could have a pretty good life if you just followed the rules.
Yes.
I don't think that's true anymore. I think that if you are a man, especially, and this is what I talk about masculine issues. If you're a man who was born and you decide to do exactly as you're told, you're going to end up depressed, in debt, working a job that you hate, with a wife who doesn't respect you, with kids who don't listen to you, in a house you don't own, until she leaves you, and then you contemplate suicide a while, and maybe you might find some purpose towards the end, enough to survive and pay your taxes, and then you're gone. I don't think a man who just follows the programming is going to find any happiness, but they don't care. Why would they? They have no interest in masculine happiness. This is another thing that's very interesting. They talk about men's mental health all the time, especially in the UK. I'm not sure about America, but in the UK, they have this big drive for men's mental health, saying that men commit more suicides. A lot more. Because it's hard to be a man. We commit more suicides. We're more depressed. We have all these mental health problems. I come along. I genuinely get thousands of emails a day saying I'm helping men's mental health. But no, can't help it the way Andrew wants. You can't tell them to go to the gym and stand up for themselves and have pride. What kind of man is going to have a solid mentality and not have mental health issues if he has no pride? It's part of being a man. Part of being a man is proud of yourself. If you wake up and you're not proud of who you are and how you look and the things you say, how are you ever going to have a solid mentality? So when I teach things that genuinely help men's mental health, that's outlawed. No, you're not allowed to do that. Instead, you have to take our version, which is to pretend to care about men's mental health, but not give a shit. Give them a life they know they're not going to enjoy, pay taxes, and die.
Right.
And men are the backbone.
Medicate them.
And medicate them. Medicate them long enough to keep working. The same way as we medicate farm animals. A bunch of injections. Yeah, just keep them alive long enough to get the milk. Milk's gone. Chop the head off. Boom.
They need to put you in prison.
They're trying.
Yeah. I can see why.
They're trying. And it's scary. A lot of people, but then what do? Do I just shut up?
No.
You don't think so?
No, you can't shut up. I mean, because in the end, your self-respect, your dignity is the only thing.
That's right. And this is what people don't understand. People say, Andrew, why are you fighting this war? And they don't understand that war is certain. You either fight war against injustice and you fight war against the things you know that are wrong and you feel good inside of yourself, or you accept the slave programming and fight a war with your own mind. You have to fight something. Yes. I can shut up and believe what I'm told in the news, but then I won't. Why am I so unhappy all the time? Why am I depressed? Why does my life suck? Why does my woman ignore me? Why do my children not respect me? You're fighting a war, then you're fighting a war with your own mind. I'd rather have all of me on side and fight against what I know is genuinely evil. You can't escape the battle. The battle is here for all of us. So I've made my decision, and that's why I can't be quiet, because you just said I would lose my self-respect, and I'd lose my dignity, and I don't think I can function that way as a man. And I don't think any man should be able to function without self-respect and dignity. The reason men died on the Titanic was for self-respect and dignity. They went into the icy cold water and died because they would feel honorless if they jumped on the boat and left the women to die.
That's right.
So when you have self-respect and dignity, you have a hard parameter, and you'll do
except for that one dude.
Yeah, you know, that guy. There's always that one guy.
Fuck them hoes.
Yeah.
Let me on this boat.
Yeah, pushing the kids out of the way.
I gotta live, man. Get this kid. Fuck, he's lame. He got a cane.
Yeah, he's not gonna make it anyway.
What the fuck? Yeah, it's messed up out there. I like this guy, man. Hold on.
Things that which are deemed crazy or insane because you believe in them and you stick up for yourself, and that's why they don't want men to have self-respect and dignity.
Rather be a free man in your grave.
Absolutely.
Freaking wow, man.
Yup. All right.
Shout out to Tucker Carlson for, man, oh my God, the level of journalism.
The other link that I sent you, I think, talks a little bit more about what they're trying to get him.
Yeah, hold on, shit. Yeah, I knew you were gonna do some type of expounding on that.
Do this to you. You did this to you. You set me up. No, I taught you a lesson. I'm just here to comfort you. Come on, touch it. Huh?
I know how you're feeling right now.
Stop it, stop it. Don't do that.
I'm here for you.
Out of here.
Oh, Billy.
What's up, guys? Boy Benny. On the date of Donald Trump's inauguration, Chuck Schumer said something on national TV that was really shocking. Donald Trump had campaigned and won the presidency campaigning against the deep state. And Chuck Schumer goes on national TV and goes, well, if you're going to come at the deep state, you better be careful because they have 7 ways of Sunday getting back at you. And
shout out to the Benny. Shout out
was
to
that
the
good
Benny.
advice?
Shout out to the Benny Show.
I mean, listen, it's Chuck Schumer, but like that was actually legitimately good advice to Donald Trump because, wow, have these people ever tried to F over President Trump? I believe President Trump will be victorious, but these people are truly driven by evil and they are motivated by evil, and they have a lot of ways to mess with the people who wish to expose them and wish to expose the evil systems around the world. Case in point, much like every other week, there's a new Donald Trump charge or a new Donald Trump arrest or a new jury inside of a dark blue district that's impaneled to send Donald Trump to jail for 1,000 years. They've arrested the Tate brothers again this morning. This was the breaking news. Nobody really knew why, and now we know why. Andrew and Tristan Tate have been arrested again in Romania. Let's go ahead and check what happened this time. Andrew Tate arrives into court handcuffed, wearing top G tracksuit, and claimed he planned to flee Romania before UK cops issued an arrest warrant with the influencer facing extradition to Britain. Uh-oh. Okay, what the hell is going on here? We know that Britain is like a big brother Orwellian. I mean, Orwell was English, right? Like big brother Orwellian security state. There's no actual freedom in Britain. Controversial brothers Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate have been arrested in Romania and are now facing extradition to Britain. They were issued a UK arrest warrant for sexual aggression. I don't really know what that means. Like, what's the legal definition of that?
Sound familiar?
Being pulled out of a police van and handcuffed earlier today, being led to the Bucharest Court of Appeals. Lawyers representing 4 women accused the influencers of sexual misdeeds. Wrote to British police to immediately seek his detention after receiving information Apparently, this happened in 2012 and 2015. Well, we are currently in the year 2024. So you're talking about something that happened 10 years ago.
Sound
I'm
familiar?
not weighing in on the whatever these charges are, but like, how exactly do you do that? Right? Like, are there statutes of limitations for these kind of things? There typically are.
Oh, something froze.
No, I was unmute. I wasn't muted. I was unmuted. So, hey, look, right here, Benny, my boy, you need to ask your homegirl, your buddy, Tasha K, the same question you just asked us. I think you might need to pull that one off when it comes to my man R. Kelly.
Exactly. And
You know,
because they're doing the same, they're trying to do the same snow job to this guy that they did to R. Kelly.
you can't be for Donald Trump and the shit that he going through, and for Andrew Tate and all that, and you can't, come on, brother.
And this is in Romania. And the UK. And so, it's not just us. And not only does that tie back to the R. Kelly situation, but it also ties back into that conversation, that we had with that young lady the other night about, if you're going to leave the country, where are you going to go that it's better? Because it's not just the US that is playing this silly game.
Right.
This is a global issue.
Trump talks about banana republics all over the place. I mean, and we're turning into the thing that we say we hate the most while claiming the greatest country in the world and being the worst.
Yeah. And the worst part of it is that, this core group of people, the people who are paying all the Fannie Willises and the Letitia James and the the people in Congress, the same people that are paying those folks are the same people that are paying politicians in these other places.
And straight up a bunch of fucking idiots.
Well, they want total control, and so they are going to weaponize, and anything that they can use as a weapon, they're going to use, including, the judicial system in whichever country, state, county, whatever, that you happen to live in. All you got to do is put the right person in there to push the buttons. And even if all they're doing is blowing smoke, look how long it takes. And so they just completely bankrupt you, and so, this is one of those Cartman situations where, you will respect my authority, and that's all it is. Smack, smack, smack.
Yeah. It's an interesting situation, man. Let's go ahead and see what's going on with this man and his brother. Why they doing this shit?
I'm not saying like horrible things. You do something bad, you should be arrested. I've said that all the time. But like for something in 2012, really? And as we've seen with these Andrew Tate cases, many times these files are empty. They have no evidence against them. There really are like they're drummed up charges, either coerced out of victims, so-called, right? Or they're something that is totally and completely made up in order to malign Andrew Tate. We have yet to see any hard evidence brought against Andrew Tate, and he's beginning to win now in court. And so with the trial heading to a presumed victory for Andrew Tate, I suppose now England is stepping in and doing their best to silence Andrew Tate. A representative for Andrew Tate, 37, who arrived at the court wearing a top G tracksuit, and his brother said the pair would go before the court in a decision on whether the warrant should be executed. A spokesperson for the brothers described the arrest as a bewildering revival of a decades-old accusation that left the Tate brothers dismayed and deeply troubled.
Too many meetings? Missing the key action
Hey,
items?
Benny.
It's time to put
Benny,
images-
Benny, I love you, bro. I love your content. You Trump supporter. You everywhere Trump be at. You need to holler at your girl, Tasha K. Because her viewpoints ain't nowhere near what you talking about.
Has he like talked to her before?
Yes, he has her on his show when it came to the Fonnie Willis shit, and she was insulting the shit out of Fonnie Willis, which that's what she does.
Yeah.
She's a vulture. And I'm like, you.
Hopefully she watches his content too.
Oh my goodness. I hope so. I don't think so. I think she's too arrogant. You know, she's one of those people that are so glorified with the sound of their own voice.
Yep.
That she don't give a damn. She screams her whole content, man. Her whole content is a yell fest, bro. I promise you.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah. She's yelling like a motherfucker, man. You know, it's crazy. I'm like, damn, somebody turned the gain up on her fucking microphone. Maybe she wanted to fucking scream. Shit.
I think that would just make it worse.
Say sexual aggression.
Of the Tates arriving once more to the court. The Matrix is afraid, but I fear only God, says Andrew Tate on X. Andrew Tate predicted this arrest just literally hours ago.
Publicly, as we speak right now, the UK is trying to put me in jail. England, because Romania has failed, so England has picked up. And England's coming up to me with all this garbage, and they're going to try and charge me soon with some imaginary crimes.
Maybe it's why they'll drop the documentary.
Well, there you go. Of course, because you have to poison the public mind.
Yep. To believe that you are
believe
the
that,
evil
right?
guy.
So the UK is trying to put me in jail. And I'm saying this now on this podcast. Everyone listen to me. The UK is coming next. Romania's failed.
Goodness. Run that back. Let's do that again. And 444.
Because Romania has failed, so England has picked up. And England's coming up to me with all this garbage, and they're going to try and charge me soon with some imaginary crimes.
Maybe it's why they'll drop the documentary.
Well, there you go. Of course, because you have to poison the public mind.
Yep. To believe that you are the evil guy.
Right? So the UK is trying to put me in jail. And I'm saying this now on this podcast. Everyone listen to me. The UK is coming next. Romania's failed. UK's picked it up. And as the UK try and put me in jail, I sit and I wonder. I say, imagine being a prosecutor. I probably shouldn't say this stuff. I'm just going to say it. And you get paid, I don't know, $3,000 a month or whatever, $2,000 a month. And you're sitting there just looking through my whole life for months. Oh, he made money. Oh, that's a lot of money. That must be a crime. Oh, a Ferrari. Oh, that's a crime. Oh my God, he has a nice watch. Crime. Like, and it's just sitting there. The obsession. And for like 6 months, just sitting there.
Just analyzing everything. Yeah.
Like, it's kind of weird that there's all these full-grown adults with this much obsession, making documentaries, trying to take me down, prosecutors in dark rooms going through my life, trying to take me down, ex-girlfriend blowing up my phone who I don't reply to anymore. Like, everyone's just like, it's weird. And I just wake up going, there's so many other people's lives which are just intertwined with mine or obsessed with the idea of trying to be involved in mine. It's actually very weird.
Andrew Tate predicting
That's
this
some sick shit.
as he predicted his first arrest. Very interestingly. So Andrew Tate, almost to like the hour, predicted his first arrest in Romania. Tate says, I do not consent to being sent to the UK. Romania is my home, and I wish to clear my name here. Prosecutor's offices is asking the judge to reject the European arrest warrant and to keep the defendants in Romania pending trial on the cases that are completely fallen to pieces. I don't care what you think about Andrew Tate. All right? I view this through the free speech lens because that is how I view the world. I have seen zero evidence that Andrew Tate is guilty of the crimes they accuse him of because they haven't presented any evidence. And I know this seems really old-fashioned, but I subscribe to the innocent until proven guilty kind of thing. And I hope that I am innocent until proven guilty. So prove he's guilty if you really believe that. But in every single subsequent case, judge after judge after judge in Romania, of all places, which is listed as one of the most corrupt countries in Europe. But even these judges inside of a corrupt system are saying there is nothing to keep this guy on lockdown or in jail. And so, ladies and gentlemen, they continue the fight. Matrix is afraid. I fear only God, which is what Andrew Tate has posted just an hour ago. So, video of Andrew Tate and Tristan being arrested by Romanian authorities. They always film this stuff. It makes you wonder why. Andrew Tate again saying that he does not consent to being sent to England. The cases are going well in Romania in the sense that they don't have any evidence against him. And so they're trying to extradite him somewhere else where they can presumably rig another trial. Tate brothers arrested in Romania. They were served a arrest warrant for charges of sexual aggression from 2012 to 2015. Truly Orwellian. Andrew Tate and Tristan got arrested before, and a single Epstein client got arrested. Isn't that amazing, ladies and gentlemen? People have brought up, I'm not going to comment on Andrew Tate or what he does for work, okay? I'm going to comment on the rule of law. I'm going to leave the moral questions to moral arbiters. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the stance we're going to take. The free speech stance and his commentary on Romania, his commentary on Ukraine and his commentary on the Matrix and his massive appeal to young men is why I believe Andrew Tate is being persecuted right now. That's truly what I believe. Because there are true monsters out there. Again, Jeffrey Epstein's documents were released, and even more documents are set to be released very soon. And we have learned about the monstrous behavior of some of the world's richest men, some of the world's most powerful men, and nothing happens to him. Prince Andrew is free as a bird. Same with Bill Clinton. Nothing happens to these scumbags. And we literally have the documents with the women saying that we were being trafficked and we were on the island and we were captives and we saw Bill Clinton there and he was being shuffled off into these rooms. We had dinner with him. Where the hell is the arrest for Bill Clinton? Nothing. Arrested before a single Epstein client gets arrested. That's precisely correct. The Tate brothers were released from custody.
Make you wonder about some of the females that be coming up missing on island on vacation and shit, you know?
Oh, it never boggled my mind. I knew where they went. Hadn't you ever seen the movie Hostel?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amsterdam. Yeah, you know, that was just like, that was weak sauce compared to some of the shit they probably done pulled with women. It's women that's been the Epstein that was taking the Epstein Island. It's not even on this fucking earth anymore because they had to kill her ass, I guess.
Fish food.
Yeah, shark bait. Let's go ahead and keep it going, Benny.
And they spoke to the press. Unfortunately, I don't think many people in Romania understand, but the West, the countries that are owned by Satanists, my soul is not for sale. Neither are my principles. We are innocent men, and in time, everybody's going to see that. We are excited to finish the judicial process here, says the Tates upon their release from the courthouse. Andrew Tate tweeting, hard to kill, with a photo of him winking, ladies and gentlemen. So very classic Tate there. And here, ladies and gentlemen, I thought was a very, very interesting video about Andrew and his brother Tristan Tate speaking out, just posted just seconds ago. Of course, it is a very different time zone in Romania, so it's dark here. And this is what they had to say about the trials today.
Join large-scale battles with military vehicles. The online action game War Thunder has received a major update, Direct Hit. Joining the battle are machines like the Soviet...
Hello.
Last time I saw you, you were very respectful, and I appreciate that. So I will actually come out and say a few words to you.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Sorry.
So,
so how do you guys feel?
I'm very happy about what happened today. Essentially, a Romanian judge saved us. It looks like the United Kingdom wanted, because they now have accused me of doing something 12 years ago, for the Romanians to keep me in prison here until my trial. And the judge saw through it. She saw what this was. She saw it was just an attack vector. She knows I've complied with the courts and the police every single step of the way. And she quite rightfully said, no. She said, if this investigation in England, it's not a case, it's not a charge, it's an investigation. She said, if the investigation in England is still going on when this process ends, then we'll send you to England. If. And that was the completely correct call. So Romanian justice and Romanian judges continue to set me free and continue to keep making the correct decisions, and I'm extremely happy.
What are you going to do next?
Well, that's a good question. We're going to complete this judicial process. I don't think many of you in the media understood exactly how innocent we were at the beginning of this. And we told everybody we were innocent, and we know everyone says that, but we are actually completely innocent, and we're very interested in completing the Romanian judicial process. And as my brother quite rightly pointed out, the UK now, as they've seen that we're going to be found innocent in Romania, have decided to try and weaponize Romanian courts to put us back in jail, and that has failed. And justice has come through tonight for us, which is fantastic.
So, ladies and gentlemen, again, we retain and remain staunch in our.
That's amazing shit. Literally.
It's so. I mean, so it's the MO now. You know what I mean?
You know, and you've seen it forever. I mean, it's not like it's not been the MO.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a damn shame, man.
Well, I think that, you know, this I don't know, this deliberate weaponization of the judicial system, and I'm not just talking about, you know, these state DAs and that sort of thing. I mean, all the way up to the White
the fucking
House.
board, man. It's all across the board, and it's like when I really started digging hard, I'm like, this shit's everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And it's
like I hit a water main. It's like I hit a fucking water main, a sewer line. Shit, it's like it's fucking everywhere.
Yeah. And so, and with that running the way that it is now, you know, so you've eliminated the buffer between the people and the state. You know, when the judiciary becomes the state, then what's your recourse? They can just come and arrest you, and unless you're willing to shoot it out, what are you going to do? You're going to go to court.
They put a fucking documentary out on this dude, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and I think they've done the same thing to R. Kelly, have they not?
They did exactly that. They did the same fucking shit to Bill Cosby, man.
And so who's funding this? It's not the US government that's funding this. You know, you got others involved. These were where, and this is what I was talking about, you know, like the first couple of nights that I came in and talked to y'all. I mean, this is all motivated by somebody and something that has a common goal, and that's why we keep seeing the same things over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
this is why you've heard me pound the desk before and say, you know, when you got a minute, look into BlackRock.
Yeah, it's crazy because, like I said, it's all the same formula. There's a formula that's used to dumb down the American people or the people of Australia or the people of whoever the fuck. It's a formula they know. They used it with COVID.
And it's not just that it's a formula, it's just that their sources for information, whatever that may be, whether it's COVID or R. Kelly or the Tate brothers or whatever else, you know, the sources for that information is all coming from one place. It's being disseminated amongst all of these other entities, like, you know, these media organizations and that sort of thing, but it's really all coming from one place. And that's why when you're sitting there watching TV and you're flipping through the news channels, you just keep hearing the same things over and over and over again. And if you follow the money, you'll see BlackRock, they own everybody. They've got a piece of everything. And so, and then, of course, you've heard of the World Economic Forum, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look at BlackRock's role in the World Economic Forum.
You know, I was hip to like, you know, the fucking Bilderberg meetings and shit. Oh my God. I'm talking about, I think I've been on about that shit for like 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, these motherfuckers go in the woods and shit on our asses and go have hot sex.
You know what it reminds me of, and I don't know if you've ever seen or read George Orwell's 1984. That's what Benny was referring to there when he said, you know, that everything was becoming Orwellian. Um, but it's like you saw The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Mm-hmm.
That was an updated version of like, George Orwell's 1984. But if you've never seen that or read it, you got to pick up on that because it describes everything that you see going on right now. And
This dude's whole scene, man, except for the fact that he's probably still free right now, is
currently, yeah.
to a T what R. Kelly was going through. Like, you put out a fucking documentary on me after I said some shit and he exposed a lot of truths, man.
Mm-hmm. And so long as he keeps getting judges who are regular people, and not part of the elitist clan, then he will continue to be successful. But as soon as they railroad him into a judge that they want or like, or then his train is
Or it
done.
can be bought or whatever.
Exactly. Or it can be manipulated, blackmailed,
threatened.
Mm-hmm. You got kids, right, Judge? Oh, you have a daughter? That's nice. Oh, she's overseas going to college. Wow. Be a shame if anything happened to her.
Right.
Could be anything.
Hey, what was a great line by Notorious B.I.G.? He said, "At my arraignment, note for the plaintiff, your daughter's tied up in the Brooklyn basement. Face it, not guilty."
Mm-hmm.
Slip that little note. Straight up.
Yeah.
But we're living in serious times, man.
I know. And in the 90s we made fun of it, because we had movies like Batman, played by who is that? I forget his first name. His last name is Keaton.
Michael.
Michael Keaton, yeah. And then, who was the arch enemy in that? That was the Penguin, right? And so he was the one that controlled from the underworld all of the politicians and pulled their strings. Now we're seeing all that shit in real time.
Right. It's crazy shit.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, all of these people sold their soul. And they're dirty. I mean, look at Fanny. I mean, she didn't actually do anything that would trip her up in this case, except lie about the things that she did do that she didn't want people to know about.
Right. Our government is lying us about so much shit.
Oh my goodness. And they have my entire life. I mean,
so much shit. I mean, so much shit. And then you take the information, you motherfuckers, and you sell it to directors and shit. And they make movies about this shit that you keep in secrets and you're baiting and switching.
Yep.
Like, I would say that one of the movies that really blew my fucking mind, I'm talking about as a kid, and I'll still watch it over and over again. It might Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Have you ever seen that?
I of course I have. It's a classic.
Yeah. Richard Dreyfuss. Wow. Excellent performance. Like, what the fuck? And you think about the fact that the government will fuck with your head. They had cows laying in the fucking.
Oh yeah, but you know what? That's so minuscule compared to what we've seen.
Yeah, I like
that's just like a taste of our current reality.
And I know that they know. I would be remiss to think that this is the only life-sustaining planet anywhere.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I'm with you on that. It's mathematically impossible that this is the only one.
I'm like, shit. And I believe there's some motherfuckers that look like us.
That I'm not sure about.
It may be.
It could be that
You
and
can't rule it out.
I'll tell you what though, and this is kind of going down a completely different rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, let's go. Fuck
But
it.
I think about this all the time. I think that if we are to, let's say tomorrow morning we wake up and we find out that we have encountered a race that we've never encountered before, I think that the probability is a lot higher that we would find a civilization that has gone undetected by us, that is more likely than running into somebody from another planet.
You talking about on another like on an island and some bullshit?
I'm talking about maybe there is a subterranean civilization in Antarctica that has been there for, millennia, and maybe pieces of them are still there, and it would go a long way to explain a lot of the man-made, let's call it geology, that we've seen all over the planet, like sarcophagi made out of solid granite with no saw blade marks, no overcut marks, nothing like that. Where we have in Mesa, Arizona, huge multi-million ton blocks that are cut into, almost perfect squares and been sitting there since before, supposedly before, people were walking on 2 feet. That's how old these things are. They didn't just happen because the water came by. They didn't break themselves into into these blocks by themselves. You know what I'm saying? And it's just the craziness that you see out there. And so it's my contention that a technologically advanced civilization lived on this planet before us. And we are what survived, the flood and the chaos.
Yeah, we're the ark people.
We are what's left. We are what evolved after that. It's
shit.
And so there's just so much. And I mean, look at all the times that you see, like article titles and video titles, we may have, found another lead, taking us to Atlantis and everything. And then they show you underwater and all of these stones and everything. These things are all, they're all cut. They're all manufactured. You can look at the carvings in them and see, and, and then they go back and they figure out, well, the first time that this land here was, up above water was more than 3,700 years ago. How's that possible? And so who had the technology to do this 3,700 years ago? Supposedly we were all walking around in bear skins with flint arrows and maybe some copper chisels here and there.
Right.
Who built the pyramids? I think the Egyptians inherited the pyramids.
Right.
They have no idea who built the pyramids.
At all.
Nope. The Egyptians have no record of it. And every record that they can find referring to the pyramids, going back as far back as they have been able to, find, words that they could translate, hieroglyphics and that sort of thing. Those words have said that, they were always here.
It's amazing technology.
Amazing technology.
I mean, how it hasn't imploded upon itself structurally.
Well, and how did they have the knowledge to build it where they built it, knowing that what it was going to need to survive? because that whole thing is built on top of the very kind of stone that it's made from. And they even took into account the cracks and fissures that would affect the building.
Yeah, stabilized it.
And
on a level that you probably haven't seen. You got billion-dollar structures. That don't have that type of tech in them.
And so let's presuppose just for a moment that and regardless of date, let's presuppose for a moment that the entire thing was built by slave labor. Have you ever looked into the measurements of the pyramid? Have you ever seen like have them talk about that?
No, I haven't.
Well, one of the measurements that's built into the pyramid is the circumference of the earth down to a decimal point. Now, I don't remember how many decimal points they went out to, but I mean, it is actually built into the measurements of the pyramid, along with a host of other measurements that people with copper chisels should have not had any knowledge of whatsoever.
Whoa.
It's crazy, man. We are not being told the whole story. We're not even being given a glimpse of the whole story. You know, Antarctica used to be green and lush. You know that, right? So you know that there's artifacts there because we found artifacts in every other location on Earth, every continent.
And you know what's crazy? I don't even know if global warming will kill the country, kill the world like they claim.
Global warming is horseshit. And I mean, what happens if you increase the CO2 and then raise the atmosphere, temperature a couple of degrees? You get more plants.
Yeah.
I mean, Mesa, Arizona, you see those big rocks coming up out of the desert and they're flat on top? They're petrified trees. That's how big trees used to be. Global warming.
This shit is fucking hilarious. So it's time to kind of segue because I like to do this. I'm a crazy
we got off the beaten trail for a bit.
Crazy motherfucker, So at a point during R. Kelly's situation, the only thing this man knew how to do was express himself in song. I guess that's I mean, you go with what you know. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he came out with this song called "I Admit," and people vilified him. Never really listened. And clearly a metaphor. I mean, I'm presenting it to you.
So is this a song that he did, before all of the BS or after all of the BS?
This was amidst all of the allegations.
Okay, so in the middle of the allegations, but he's not gone to jail or anything yet.
Right. He wasn't in jail.
All right, so that gives me some context.
All right, so, just like with Donald Trump, when you say some shit, you better be motherfucking careful.
Right.
Because they're like, oh, you wrote a song called "I Admit," and la 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 la. Nobody used their common sense and actually listened to the fucking song. No one. Okay, these motherfuckers kill me with this shit because they never listen to anything, but they got so much to say and dropping so much science on you and so much knowledge. But you haven't even attempted to gain the knowledge. So let's gain the knowledge, people. Let's go for it. R. Kelly, I Admit. He wrote this song for the masses back in 2018. It's long as shit, so we're going to try to probably bounce through a little bit, but hey.
I admit I done made some mistakes, and I have some imperfect ways. I admit I helped so many people, and them same damn people turn fake. I admit it was so hard to focus. I didn't go to classes. I admit that I dropped out of school. I admit that I wasn't that cool.
So, motherfucker wasn't cool, wasn't smart. We found out that he suffered from dyslexia and all those different things, which, was some of the reasons why he got into those bullshit contracts that he got into, where he ended up broke at the end of all of this shit. Okay, so a little context. That's, we'll let it roll for a minute.
Admit I just feel like retiring. Admit I just don't feel like trying. But all my real niggas around me keep telling me, Kels, fuck that, you gotta keep climbing. I admit it, I did. I done fuck with a couple of fans. I admit I'm a gift and a curse. I admit that I don't go to church. I admit it, I admit it. I admit it, I did it. I admit it, I did. I admit it, I did it. I admit I got so many flaws. Told so many lies to these bras. Lose so much money, pop so many bottles. Yeah, I fuck a bitch just because.
Sound like any guy who got a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now they people take this as some type of confession, but it gets deep. It gets deep. I mean, some people aren't forward thinking or think about metaphors or what a person is really trying to tell them. They just look at the title and go for it. But you can kind of see where he's going.
Mm-hmm.
You can see.
Nigga, I had a hell of a day, but I admit I was in my own way. I admit I had my mama crying over me. What else can a nigga say? I admit I can't spell for shit. I admit that all I hear is hits. I admit I couldn't read the teleprompter when the Grammys asked me to present. I admit
So they literally thought that this man was an asshole because he wouldn't present Grammys. And the only 3 Grammys he ever won with an illustrious career and hits all over the fucking place were the 3 Grammys that he won for I Believe I Can Fly.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because he wouldn't read teleprompters at the Grammys because he couldn't read the fucking things. Yeah, I don't know. He might do a little bit better than Joe Biden, I would hope.
Yeah.
But, when you're suffering from dyslexia and shit like that, then, it's a different monster. So I get that part, but it was kind of crazy because, people get a misconception of an individual based off of just what they see, and perception is reality. So
that's what and especially if they're introduced to it by a talking head who's already made up their mind.
Damn right. An empty suit or some shit.
Yep. Hey, hello, over there, yellow bees. Yeah, I saw you snuck in over there.
Hey, all the time, man. Shit. So check this out.
I love God, but wait. It's so much temptation, but wait. Admit to the drinking and smoking too much, but it helped me get through the day. Won't say no names, I'm not a snitch. But one night at the Ritz, I did some shit I shouldn't have did. When it fuck, but niggas big. I admit.
Creating enemies and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Creating enemies and shit. I mean, and this is a true admission. Us as men, we do fucked up shit. Female dangled that ass in front of him and he couldn't, it's the lifestyle, sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
That's it.
That's exactly the shit. Oh, God. It's crazy, man. It's wild shit.
I admit that I did. I fucked my girlfriend's best friend. Yeah.
Shit.
And this is one of the things where, and this isn't against anybody that we've talked about so far.
Right.
But have you ever heard Keanu Reeves, talk to like reporters and stuff when they?
And that's why he don't take pictures and then be hugging on people.
Right. He's like, man, I just like to keep it simple.
Yeah, because the fuck, now.
Because they'll jack you up if you don't. If you give them a nail to hang you on, they will use it.
Because you got while all of this shit is going on, that he's talking about, apparently somebody was watching the whole shit and keeping a better record of it than he was. You know?
Right. Well, and then and this is another one of those cases where nobody had enough evidence to bring any one of these individual complaints to trial or to court or anything else. They're a big nothing burger, each one of them. And I'm talking about Tate, and I'm talking about R. Kelly, and I'm talking about Bill Cosby.
Good Lord.
Every single one of them, none of them
Why
had a
is
case.
all of them? Shit.
Yep. And so what do? They wrap it all up into one box and invent some bullshit to charge them on that apparently requires no evidence whatsoever other than hearsay, other than some chick sitting up there flapping her gums. And so, what's going to happen when the roles get reversed? Because that every time we see something like this, the pendulum ends up swinging the other way.
It goes both ways. That knife, it cuts both ways.
And so everybody's going to lose their mind. And you know who it's going to be? It's going to be somebody like, somebody that's already got skeletons in the closet, and I will use in an example, even though I don't know nothing about her, Oprah Winfrey.
My goodness, that shit would be fucking bananas.
If they decide to bury her, what is going to stop them?
Not a damn thing.
Nothing.
I'll sit back and watch.
Right? Because from our viewpoint, we're sitting here going, well, the bitch got it, what's coming. That's what the fucking same shit they did to everybody else. So why not her?
Sit back and get my popcorn. Okay.
Right. That's going to be some late nights of you and me sitting here laughing.
Man, so look, this shit, when you look at what this man is saying, he's done a lot of shit. So
I admit I'm sorry for my sins. I admit it, I admit it. I admit it, I did it. I admit it, I did.
That's gonna be our talking stop point. This verse today.
I admit I trust people too much. I admit I can't say such and such, but my lawyers told me settle this, even though it's bullshit. Kelly, protect your career. All these people in my ear.
That's a fact.
Yep.
That happens all the time. Settle this bullshit, protect your career, but you throw yourself under the bus. Why would he settle if he's not guilty? Because he wants it to go the fuck away. He don't have time with tour dates and shit to be stopping to go to the fucking trial. Try to make it make sense. That's all. We've been through this I Admit song a few times everywhere. We just going through it again on my channel. Never been done on my channel. So let's do it the way that I do it.
I admit I've been tempted by drugs. I admit that I just need a hug. I admit the devil talk to me sometimes, but the devil's not who I trust. I've been fucked by so many damn men. Why they push me up on these cameras? God and created them and let it came like a fucking camera.
They really did. They treated the man like he did do shit. Not even I Believe I Can Fly. And I don't know if you follow this catalog in that regard to that degree, but it's an amazing fucking catalog. It's fucking ridiculous. Hit after hit, great song after great song. You have blues, rock and roll, country, the fucking R&B, rap, everything that you could roll up into one fucking person. It's fucking crazy.
Well, how I've been hitting it up lately is that just because of the places that I go in YouTube, and this channel is a good example, I get stuff that pops up in my feed that relates to like R. Kelly. And so, I'm not getting them like, I don't sit there and listen to a whole album all the way through. But then when I see one pop up or something, I'll grab that and put it on and then slide it over to a screen, and listen to it while I'm going through.
But it gets deep, man. It's like this is the tip of the iceberg of the shit that was happening to him in real time while he's free, and he's like, "What the fuck?" The only way he know how to express himself is this way. But the media can spin, people can spin shit, man. I mean, I've learned about the spin artists in this shit lately.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. They put you in the fucking spin cycle, man.
Yeah, and
Fuck.
have you ever seen Good Morning Vietnam?
Yeah.
All right, you remember the Bobs that sit in the room and go through and line through all the paperwork before he gets the news?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing, man.
Like, yeah, they can see this now, they can't see that.
Exactly. And if they do see this, like all the spin doctors today, they were so busy trying to cover for Joe Biden today. I mean, it was incredible.
Oh yeah, I saw a lot of that shit. This fucking documents thing. I contend to say right now, he may be some well-being old man.
When was Joe Biden ever well-meaning?
Okay, he's just an old man. He's a cantankerous piece of shit. Okay,
yeah. When did
I was trying to be nice.
I don't even know where that came from.
I don't know. That wasn't even me. I don't know what.
I know where it came from. I know where it came from. You heard it somewhere. You're an agent.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Well-being
you repeated
old
back
man.
to me the news. That's right. That's right.
He's
and
a well-being old man.
Even when you're looking for it, it works.
But I snapped out of it quick. He's a piece of shit.
I know. Yeah. Well, that's what we're here for, right? We got to bring each other back down to reality. Meaning my ass.
Almost fucked up the whole platform.
That's like the 81 million vote lie. You repeat it enough times and people start to believe it.
Right.
Joe Biden got 81 million votes. Do you know that during that election, the 75, 76 million votes that Trump got was more than any president had ever gotten in the history of the United States, except for Joe Biden, Basement Biden's 81 million votes?
People love Joe Biden so fucking much.
Yeah, give me a break. It didn't happen. And now look at all of these cases that are popping up all over, states all over, about this same election.
And she said, Kilroy girl said, "Oh, perv, yeah." Oh, perv, man, it's crazy. Yeah. Prince spoke out too before he died. Prince had a lot of shit. Look, I feel like people don't really realize that shit is so deep. This is some ritualistic shit that Donald Trump is interrupting.
Yup. And
and any righteous individual was interrupting. They want to depopulate. So you can't have a motherfucker out here making music if you're trying to depopulate the planet.
It's not even that, because it's not about his music. The lyrics in his music and that sort of thing, that's just the club that they're beating him with. It has got
of course
jack to do with the reason that they're after it.
And people don't even realize, they're literally using that.
Right.
And and it's amazing to me because people will say, "Yeah, well, we have to protect black girls." I'm like, how in the fuck is I believe I can fly and step in the name of love hurting a black girl?
Yeah, if you want to protect her, then find her daddy. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because if she's growing up in a single mom household, and mom is probably out clubbing and doing the deal and all that kind of stuff too.
And we're not talking about just black. We talk about anybody. This ain't gonna happen.
Oh my goodness! And I do mean everybody. And that recently, there's a video. They had a big riot in New York City, and this woman, and she's a white woman, standing out in the middle of New York City, bare feet. She's got a baby on one hip and two other little kids with her, and all three of them, the mom and both of the little kids, are standing there just filming all of the chaos, all the cops and everybody getting beat with their phones. So this woman with her three small children is out in the middle of the city at night, just in the middle of all the chaos, filming with her phone. What is wrong with this woman? Go home.
I know, right? See, the level of crazy is real, sir.
Yeah.
We cannot deny it. We cannot deny it. It's so real.
Yeah.
Let's get back into this shit. We're gonna take this ride with Mr. Kelly and have some fun here. It's interesting.
I got a life, yeah. I got a right, yeah. Cancel my shows. That shit ain't right. How they gon' say I don't respect these women when all I've done is represent? Take my career and turn it upside down, cause you're mad I've got some girlfriends. Hell with this record deal. It ain't worth this shit for real. Ain't seen my kids in years. They try and lock me up like Bill. How much can a nigga take? How much can a nigga break? Just wanna do my music, stop stressing me. Please just let me age gracefully. I admit.
And that's all they be woke, man. And they don't even fucking let them, man. It's ridiculous. Hold on. Let me get that off here before I get fucked off. Well, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I gotta send you another link too. It's gonna fix
And I have some imperfect ways.
Yeah, so
I admit it. I admit,
let's get out of
I
here.
admit I love God, but wait.
Let me see. Hold on. I gotta get back ahead because I skipped ahead the song. Let's see. So it gets real interesting, man, because he was talking about canceling the show. So basically, you know, the Mute R. Kelly movement was a motherfucker, and I don't know if you saw that manifest itself.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Black Lives Matter.
Right.
It was fucking crazy because people literally stopped playing his music on the airwaves and radio and every fucking thing. Stop selling it in Walmart, every fucking thing.
Yep. The fix was in.
Yeah. And that was to financially cripple this man, you know, pretty much like put him in a motherfucking in a hole, like shit. You know, so look at what they're trying to do to Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck you think they get all the civil shit out the way first? They're trying to deplete his funds. They think he only got a few $1 million. $300 million. That ought to hurt him.
Yeah, and they think he doesn't have resources, you know, and the fact that we actually even have to talk about this piece is foul, because we know that that's their intention all the time, is to try to run him out of the resources to fight. Doesn't have shit to do with justice, doesn't have shit to do with the law. It just has to do with them trying to ruin him.
Mm-hmm. Let's keep moving, because I'm telling you, the shit is deep when you think about it. When you expound on the points here, it gets really deep. So let's go.
I ain't seen my kids in years. They try and lock me up like Bill. How much can a nigga take? How much can a nigga break?
And I agree,
just wanna
man,
do my
wrong.
music, stop stressing me. Please just let me age gracefully. I admit it, I admit it. I admit it, I did it. I admit it, I did. I admit it, I did. I admit it, I did it. They took my gift and they blind me. Where the fuck is my money? Now here come this big ass conspiracy.
30-year career, right? And at a point, you can actually, you know, file for your master's, which means you own every fucking thing. The moment he did that shit and he inquired about that shit, all this fucking shit came raining down into his life.
I still don't think that was the reason, though.
His catalog is worth $1.5 billion.
Mm-hmm. But he didn't play the game.
And he didn't play the game. And the thing about it is, it may be worth even more because he actually wrote for Michael Jackson and one of his biggest fucking hits.
Right. But I don't actually think that it's about him or about his money in particular.
He was chosen because of.
Well, they want everybody else to know. He's the example that they want to set for everybody else who doesn't want to play ball.
But they have him lined up, but it was because of a few things. You know, they got him lined up. You know, you look at they coming for Diddy. They could have came for Diddy years ago. He's been a piece of shit forever.
He's probably got a better story.
I bet you. You better fucking believe it.
I'm just saying. I mean, you know who D. Snyder is? Did you ever see his congressional testimony? And this is the whole thing in reverse, because this is the conservatives, the Republicans who are interrogating D. Snyder, and he just tears them up on the Senate floor.
I'm gonna have to make sure I'll take a look at that shit for real. Like,
yeah, and this is back in 1984.
All right. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and
when there wasn't too many restrictions on your freedom of speech.
Right. This is Twisted Sister v. United States Senate.
Oh yeah. Let me see. Let me go ahead and get into this a little bit more.
I still got my fans, that's a blessing. Listen to heaven, just stay on my grind, and that's 24/7. And I know my mama Joanne is smiling down on me. I put that on Reverend. Been a grown man since age 11. 9 on the guap since 7. Rest in peace to my homie Kevin. I admit it, I made it. I admit it, I did it. I admit it, I did. I admit it, I did it. I admit I'm a freak. Used to go to strip clubs every week. But who these niggas trying to say I am? Man, I'm not, and I put that on chief. I admit I fuck with all the ladies. That's both older and young ladies. But tell me how they call it pedophile because of that shit. That's crazy. You may have
because they can say anything they want about you, and if they repeat it, people will tend to believe it. That's why they're doing it. They don't even know that that's not even what they're accusing you of. Like, that's crazy shit. Because pedophile would mean you at the elementary school, basically. For real. Jesus Christ. Good Lord. Gaslight the world. That's what they do. I understand you might not like the fact that he's dealing with your 18-year-old daughter, but that don't make, it's not against the law. Sorry.
your opinions, entitled to your opinions. But really, am I supposed to go to jail or lose my career because your opinion? Yeah, go ahead and storm me. Point your finger at me. Turn the world against me. But only God can mute me. I admit that I fired some people. I admit that I hired new people. I admit that those people I fired on my mama was crooked ass people. I admit that I don't own my music. I admit that I will on my music. Want it back, but they don't wanna do it. What the fuck, nigga? I wrote that music. I did that bumping ground. I did that 12 play. I did that fed up. I changed the damn game. So I deserve me a fair play. So put some respect on my damn name.
This man wrote, composed, and produced damn near every song that he wrote, that he had on in his catalog, except for some remakes and shit. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's a lot of money. That's producer credit. That's writer credit. That's a lot of fucking money that you get to fork to a man. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's a lot of fucking money. That's like, oh shit. You know, so when I think about it, it's like, damn, that's crazy, because not only his albums, you got other people's music that is tied to him that he wrote albums for and shit, and he'd get all that fucking money every time the radio hit. He'd be just making millions. He would be on a Jay-Z, beyond Jay-Z level, honestly. Because the music's good and it would play if they didn't mute it.
Right.
But eventually, come what may. His music will be back on the radio because once they tell you something's good, you'll go for it again. And once they decide that his music can be back on the radio, they'll do something.
And it'll probably start with, because I mean, and just for an example, Spotify is really good at making contracts with people that they know are getting, snow jobbed, or railroaded. And so you could see a contract from, someplace like that come his way, and then they start playing his music. And then if everybody else, they don't get on board with that, then they're missing those dollars.
Yeah. But Spotify was one of the first ones that took him off their playlist.
I believe it. But I mean, look at all of the woke BS pressure there is anymore, because they took, what's his name? That, the talking Joe Rogan off. But then they were also the ones that put him back on the air, and because nobody else would, and so of course they saw dollar signs in front of their eyes, they put him back on the air. And then slowly, you see these other platforms, that are starting to do the same thing. Even YouTube shows like interviews and videos of Joe Rogan again. And not too long ago, you couldn't find nothing that had Joe Rogan's name on it anymore.
Right, muted the shit out of him.
Yeah, they did.
And took this man's music away. But let's keep it moving. Let's find out what else he got to say. Shit.
Now Wendy Williams mad with me, but I ain't never offer her no drink. But I admit that she asked me, can I get a little Hennessy? Then we both turned off our phone. We drink, I smoke, we talk. And I admit that I told it all, from my good points to my faults. She said, what about Aaliyah? I said, love. She said, what about the tape? I said, hush. I said, my lawyer said, don't say none. But I can tell you I've been set up.
I believe that. You've been set up. Playing games. But then the media get a hold of all the shit and do they fucking bait and switch and clip it and have you out here looking fucked up. You can't even talk to these motherfuckers. Because they'll fuck with everything you say. You can't even say shit when they camera around. No. They gonna snip it and make it bad. They crazy. They can get down to the nearest 10th and have your shit looking crazy. All right, let's go.
I admitted how ever since the first day, that without knowing I signed my publishing away.
That's deep. That's deep. Wow. That now, think about that. That's all your fucking money. It's gone. Signed it away, Lord.
I admitted I was young and caught up and so blind, yeah. Said I had dyslexia, couldn't read all the contracts, yeah. And now the truth in this message is I'm a broke-ass legend. The only reason I stay on tour is because I gotta pay my rent. I never thought that it would come to this, to being the most disrespected artist. So I had to write a song about it, because they always take my words and twist it. Believe me, it's hard to admit.
They do that shit to Trump too.
Everybody.
Take the words and twist them motherfuckers around. You like, I ain't say none of that shit. What do you mean? For real, it's crazy. This is actually a good, honest situation. I understand everything he's fucking saying. It's very clear, I think. I mean, are you having any troubles following news?
Nope.
Shit. Let's go.
Admit all this, but I'm in my feelings about this shit. But I had to set the fucking record straight. So I admit it, I made it. I admit it, I did it. I admit it, I did. I admit it, I did it. I admit I love Steve Harvey. John Legend and Tom Joyner, they're doing good in their lives right now. Why would they want to tear down another brother? Women show black men some love, 'cause black men, we go through enough. How can we get up off the ground when we steady tearing each other down? I admit that the devil is busy, and some people beside me ain't with me. I admit that I'm gonna do this music up until the Lord come get me. Now, I admit a family member touched me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. From a child to the age 14. Yeah. While I laid asleep, took my virginity. So scared to say something, so I just put the blame on me. Now here I am and I'm trying my best to be honest. Cause there's forces out there trying to keep me from being an artist. I admit I'm at rock bottom, and this shit has rocked my mind. I'm calling on my hood, come walk by my side. They don't want me to shine. Women's group, my God. Now don't get it twisted, I do support them, but why they wanna bring down my art?
Why? Why women's groups? Low hanging fruit.
Well, no, because it was convenient for them.
Yeah, low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
It was an easy hit with the Leah rumors and the sex tape rumors and all of that to just go crazy. And yeah, definitely. I mean,
the bandwagon was already there. They just had to jump on.
Oh man, it was crazy to the point where they were literally fucking with this man's concerts and shit. It was fucking stupid, man. This shit was ridiculous. You have bogus fucking promoters. Oh my god.
Damn, this is breaking my heart. Cause from fathers, mothers, sons, and daughters, I'm a part of the music culture. Spotify took me off their playlist.
Told you. Spotify took him off quick.
Well, like I said, they did the same thing to Rogan. You know,
my goodness, snatched his ass off of there.
Anytime they think they're going to be wrapped up in controversy, they want to duck out. But whenever they think they can make money off of that controversy, you know, they'll be the first ones to put their hat back in. You know what I'm saying?
It was definitely selective because this big motherfuckers went to jail after R. Kelly and they still got their whole shit up, man. It's just, I'm like, what the fuck?
Well,
oh, God.
Now, if you want to do an experiment, we can follow the money and we can follow back and see who ultimately owns Spotify, and then we will probably get our answer that way. So who owns Spotify, or who's got a big hand in Spotify, you know, that's got an axe to grind against, you know, R. Kelly?
Man, deep. We got to go here. We got to investigate.
Dun, dun, dun.
I admit that I've been underrated. I'm not convicted, not arrested, but drag my name in the dirt. All this work to be successful, and you abandon me because of what you heard. I admit I am not perfect. I never said I was perfect. Say I'm abusing these women. What the fuck, that's some absurd shit. They brainwashed, really? Kidnapped, really? Can't eat, really? Real talk, that shit sounds silly.
Damn silly when you looking at R. Kelly, okay? A famous, world-renowned artist. They could have any woman he wants. Any group of women he wants. It doesn't matter. It's R. Kelly. Sings about sex all the fucking time. What the fuck are you talking about? Kidnap. These females don't want to leave. Not for the dollar amounts that I told you that they was getting to even be there.
Yep.
The fuck? Man, stop it. It shit do sound silly when you think about it. when you know what we've talked about. Like, these fuckers got $5,000 a month.
Yep.
Kidnapped? Really?
Yep.
Brainwashed? Really?
I was tied up in the basement for $5,000 a month and $10,000 on my birthday.
Can't eat? Really? And you got $5,000? Wait a minute.
Yeah. Ma'am, can you tell me what he used to tie you up with? One was a tank top from Nordstrom's, and there was a skirt that I was wearing. Oh, and the shoes. There were these high heel shoes, and the laces went all the way up to my knee. I was all tied up in that. Yeah, I think the shoes were like, $2,000 by themselves.
When you think about it, it just gets more ridiculous by it.
He had me tied up in all this jewelry, and these cars made me drive his cars. It was a nightmare, Judge.
And like I said, this is not to offend anybody because there's real victims around here, man. And
I just don't think that these girls are it.
They E.G. and Carol, man.
Exactly.
It's E.G. and Carol. Let's go.
And if you really, really want to know, her father dropped her off in my show and told his boy to put her on the stage. I admit that she was over age. I admit that I was feeling her, and I admit that she was feeling me. I admit that that's just some shit that come with being a celebrity.
Exactly. I mean, what the fuck is... Everybody like him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's R. Kelly, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So, I just want to know, like, and not because I got anything against anybody, but I mean, how hard are the lyrics in Eminem's music about women? The bitches and hoes. You don't put out, I'll put you out. And nobody's after him, and that's what I'm talking about, So, because they're not after him for his lyrics. Obviously, we all know that. But
yeah, I mean, it's just a tool to use against them.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, they'd be doing the same thing to everybody out there who has lyrics that are similar in nature, and they're not. It's very selective.
Right. So let's go ahead and keep it pushing on ahead, pushing forward a little bit.
I ain't chasing these ladies, no. These ladies are chasing me, yeah.
I agree.
And I'm only saying all this shit, cause how they trying to play me, yeah. I admit that this is no disrespect to the parents, but this is my advice to you, cause I'm also a parent. Don't push your daughter in my face and tell me that it's okay, cause your agenda is to get paid and get mad when it don't go your way. I know y'all
all of that.
That's it. That's all.
Yep. Your gender is to get paid. And oh my goodness. I mean, that should be the title for this video. For this. Yep. Your gender is to get paid.
Yeah, gender is to get paid, and you get mad when the shit don't go your way.
Oh my goodness. And why are all these dudes in this mess? That's exactly why.
Because the agenda is to get paid.
Yep. And they get mad when it don't go their way.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. I've reached the end of the internet. It's been nice knowing you guys. We can close this out now.
Really?
Yep, that's it. I mean, what else is there to talk about now?
I don't know. It's a bit more. It's a bit more. Don't worry.
All right.
Hey, Muse, what's up, man? You back?
Yeah, I'm back. I made it home. I'm safely in the crib.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. So let's go ahead and rotate. You know what I'm saying? We're going to let it play and we're going to talk. Let's see.
Look at me like I don't go through things, but I'm human. I know it's hard sometimes, but try to keep in mind that I'm human. Fuck all the fortune and fame, forget the name. I'm a human. I can't believe all the under the table shit they doing. I'm tired of fingers pointed at me. I'm tired of all this weight on me. I'm tired of everybody want a piece of me. Shit, I'm not an ATM machine. What do I do?
You know what? I'm telling you, you know exactly what they want. That motherfucking money.
Yep. It's a blessing and a curse.
More money, more problems, more people grab. Gimme. I'm gonna say you did this to me if you don't give it to me.
Yep.
Well, I'm just gonna say it anyway.
Make me think of that doggone trial with Johnny Depp when Amber Heard. The
Man,
most
that's
crazy
trash
stuff I've ever
bag.
seen in my life.
That trash bag.
It should be a law against that. It'd be a law.
Dumpster juice, douche rocket of a woman.
Yep. All of that.
And I want to go back. Wait a minute, real quick.
Huh?
I want to go back to. It was something that who said it? I think it was C Star. Oh, yeah, here it is. It says MJ bought the Beatles catalog. Was he punished?
Yeah.
If that's a real question. Then yeah, they were
Yeah.
doing their best to get MJ.
Like, how dare you?
Yeah. And so I didn't know if he was being sarcastic in that, but it related to what you were just talking about. So I want to go back to it.
Right.
Well, absolutely. That was the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the same people who punished Michael Jackson are punishing him. Sony.
What I do? How can I win if I can't win with truth? Got a couple of dead homies that I promised I would make it out this shit. And I know that God's hands is on me, nigga. I'm gonna make it out this shit. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. And I claim it. The storm's over. I admit I talked to Miss McGlynn. FYI, that's my second mother. I admit that
R.I.P. Melina McClan. Yeah.
I asked her, how am I gonna get the world off my shoulder? She said, son, don't you lose it. Sometimes you gotta go through it. They can say what they say, but at the end of the day, they cannot deny your music. Cause your music has touched people. It inspired all people overseas, everywhere. Don't worry, don't care. Cause the anointing is on you. And that's why these haters is at you. So just keep on doing you, baby. You don't have to give these fools an explanation. I admit it, I made.
And that's crazy because everybody want an explanation from everybody.
Right.
Especially when you're in the limelight. Like right now, I need an explanation from Fannie Willis. Like, well, hey, you talk to me. Why'd you do that dumb shit that you did?
That just bottles the mind, that whole thing, you know.
Why you do that stupid shit that you did?
And why are you still doing it? Why after everything are you still?
Why are you so arrogant? And why do you keep on popping up in these church houses like you the holiest thing next
why
to?
Why are you still fronting? You've been caught. You know. It's like
you might as well go slap into the church with no drawers on.
Yeah, it's like coming into the kitchen and finding the entire kitchen is just covered in baking flour, including your smallest child, and the child swears they had nothing to do with it.
What, mama? What? Let's keep going, man. Shit.
I admit it, I did it. I admit it, I did. I admit it, I did it. What's the definition of a cult? What's the definition of a sex slave? Go to the dictionary, look it up, and let me know I'll be here waiting. Now I admit I got some girls that love me to pull their hair. And I admit they love me to talk dirty when I pull their hair. Yeah. Some like me to spank them, and some like to get brain. And what some of these girls want is too much for the radio station. Look, I'm just a man, y'all, not a monster or beast.
I mean, shit.
That's real talk. I felt that.
I mean, shit.
Don't say no more. You'd be amazed with them. Oh man, I'm about to yield back. Yeah, I'm about to yield myself back.
I mean, shit.
You feel me?
I mean, shit.
You know what I mean? These groupies, man,
That's the only people I can say, well, shit.
Just to touch it, just to touch, just to be. Did you see? Did y'all remember that? And I get back on this. Michael Jackson did a tour. I forgot what he was. He was overseas in another country when he did a Dangerous tour. You know, Michael is. You know how he does his set. He came up out of the bottom of the stage. He popped up. That's when he had that blue pants on, I think it was, and a brown like leather top, whatever. Michael popped up out of the thing with some dark glasses on. He just popped up out of the stage and just stood still. He didn't make a sound. He didn't do a turn or nothing. And they was carrying people out on stretchers.
Oh yeah.
All he did was just pop up. Then he turned his head. He turned his head. Just
He took his glasses off. Then took his glasses off.
They was carrying men and women out on stretchers. Passing out, literally passing out. So can you imagine someone, Michael Jackson and Mr. Kelly collab, did a song together because Michael thought he was the best person to do what he wanted to do, and it was just phenomenal. So can you imagine them doing whatever they can as a woman, using advantage of the laws and their feminine stuff and all of this stuff just to get, and then when it don't go the way you want it to go, oh, they're gonna believe women anyway. And do you pull this mess? And then you can get a political party behind it, get some money behind it. You know what I mean? That tie into some. You know where I'm going? A textbook.
Meanwhile, at the same time in Chicago, when all of that bullshit was going down, Jussie Smollett lied and said to the MAGA, two people with MAGA hats, kicked his ass on the coldest day in 30 years.
All that resources, man.
Yep. Because you know, all of us white people are so stupid that we're going to go into Chicago and run our mouths and act like a bunch of idiots in the middle of the night because all white people are that stupid.
Like, hey, is that Jussie Smollett?
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
I mean,
like most white people would know this motherfucker on sight. Okay,
right. Until he did all that, I had never heard of a Jussie Smollett.
Ah, shit.
Never heard. What was he on? Some soap operas or something? What was he on?
A TV show called Empire.
A TV show called Empire. Yeah, which I have never watched in my life.
It was on Fox.
Yeah. But I mean, who does that?
The stupid. No, somebody this. Look, he got arrested. Kim Fox recused herself because she knew like his family and
I mean, who thinks that even from the beginning that his story was because somebody who would actually do that, they're signing their own death sentence because you are in the wrong neighborhood talking the wrong kind of smack at the wrong hour of the day. You know what I mean? And so even that part wasn't plausible. And when I heard that, I was like, yeah, that didn't happen. Yeah.
It's cold as shit. And you got DoorDash and all this crazy shit, but you want to walk blocks to go get a fucking Subway sandwich in the middle of the night?
Oh my
goodness. In the middle of the night? Man, stop it.
And then the icing on the cake is they put that man in jail and he cried to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's all he had to do. I mean, he's back in there now from what I understand. But yeah, they said, the conditions were just too inhumane for, Jussie's, fragile whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody trying to hit none of that whole ass shit.
Man. There's just nothing about that story that was even good. I mean, he should have sat down with a team of writers before he tried to pull all of that.
Yeah. tied up with who's tied up with Michael Avenatti.
Yeah, you know.
You already know. You already know.
Because if he would have just storyboarded that entire thing before he did it, he would have known better.
Yep. Damn, I'm about to fuck up my entire career. Shit.
Yeah, this isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna work. You know. Oh man.
Hey,
and this is why I don't have respect for actors at all.
Yeah.
I really it's really a rare occasion where, you know, I can listen, and I don't care what side they're on, you know.
Right.
Where I can
Right.
listen to an actor and just say, you know what, that sounded like a real thing, you know, coming out of their mouth.
Hey, but check it out, y'all. We like getting through this 19-minute fucking song. Let's get through it, man. Shit, we almost done. Huh?
R. Kelly needs to make shorter songs.
Yeah, this is fucked up. This is fucked up.
Yeah, this is just one thing.
But it's informative.
All right.
And truth be told, the topics that are coming from this shit is crazy.
Well, yeah, true story. That's the point, ain't it?
Sum up everything that he was dealing with and going through. You know what I mean? It's more detailed than that, but he just highlighted the major points, and that's some genius stuff. I've never seen nobody be able to do that. You know what I mean? You know, only one other time he did a 45-minute song. He actually did a 45-minute song where he goes from his childhood all the way up to his career. That's just genius. It was just that was some fun for him to do. Yeah, these are the only two times that he ever did something like that. I've never heard of any other artist do that.
Right. I mean, but so check it out.
But I admit there are times when these girls so fine, I'll chill at a nigga for a week. Now I admit I love Hugh Hefner, and through the years supported Hugh Hefner. But when he left this world, he had a million girls, but we gon' always love Hugh Hefner. To Jim C. Regardless or whatever your name is. You've been trying to destroy me for 25 whole years. Writing the same stories over and over and over again. Off my neck.
Sound like propaganda.
Yes, I've never seen a man obsessed over another man like that. You're supposed to be a journalist. I've never seen that like that.
Ain't that like that? And noobs, ain't that the true definition of propaganda?
That's
well,
it.
Yeah, if you've already got your mind made up, you know.
That's it. Like you said earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you're running it over and over again. You're trying to propagandize people.
If you say it enough times.
What Andrew Tate said, they first got to do the documents first. They got to put. That's why in order for you to look at any of this stuff across the board in America, you cannot. You just got to be you can't be no surface level thinker. You can't. You can't let nobody tell you how to think and how to process information to give you what they want to give you. You got to do research for your own sake, for your own conscious mind. And when somebody is trying to finagle you and finesse you to believe not to do that you don't have a right to do that, that's an automatic red flag. Danger, danger, danger.
And nowadays, you got to remember to look in the places that you don't want to look too.
There you go.
And so, you know, because there's a lot of times I got to sit there and listen to whatever flap is coming out of Rachel Maddow's mouth.
No, just to get to some shit. Just to get to something. Fuck, like it hurts so bad, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Right.
You know, but you gotta know, you know, you gotta be able to smell the twist, and she is a good source for going out and finding, oh, okay, I see the angle they're taking on this now.
We're gonna go ahead and cut the feed, and you know we go through this every time, bitch. You know good damn well, show goofball ass. Don't you got a date? Ain't E. Jean Carroll waiting outside in the car? Why don't you go kick it with her?
Yeah. Now, you know, and speaking of E. Jean Carroll, and I know, you know, you got an E. Jean Carroll thing just because, you know, she's crazy and all that kind of stuff. But when is she gonna go to court for the lyrics and the words that she's posted about all of her strangeness and you know, sexual provocations, you know?
Never.
Mm.
Ever.
because I mean she's published a lot of the filth that's in her head, and it's way worse than anything that Donald Trump has ever written or said, to my knowledge.
Right.
I mean, that freaky woman, she will do things that, these are things you don't know about until you discover, the dark side of the internet.
Right. Right.
But no, nobody's holding her feet to the fire.
Yep. Just like
Not at all, man.
And she's made money off of these things.
Wow.
Damn straight. Yeah, man. So check it out. We're gonna go ahead and end this one. Like I said, and you know what? I'm letting everybody know. I'm gonna take maybe a couple of days off here, and I'm gonna create, a couple of recordings and kind of put some content out there for you guys. But as far as doing lives, I'm gonna probably not necessarily yield back, but I'm kind of reserve it for a different day. But let's just say not tonight, but after Wednesday, we're gonna kind of peel back a little bit. All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say you probably Wednesday would be a good day. Good day to be on. I still think it's your best day. It seems like
Right, and then what we'll do is we'll do like I do good on Sundays and Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Right.
And we'll kind of like do it from there, and then I can kind of make for a crispier content. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of do a back channel or something like that, so that we can kind of talk. All of us to kind of get together on these panels.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And just kind of get in the green room and kind of spitball and kind of get a format of a rhythm of how we want to do things.
Yeah, I have one suggestion for you for one of your down days, and that would be to maybe on your community tab or somewhere on your channel, post a SteamYard link and time. And then we can just get on and BS about, the logistical side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and I'll keep an eye out for that, so that I can.
Right. Matter of fact, this is what I'm going to do. So I want you to, because I want you to reach out to me like ASAP. Anyway. Matter of fact, we ain't gonna do it because Muse know who I am, so don't even matter.
Yeah, well, you can put it in the private chat.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's do it like that. Yeah, because Mr. Muse definitely has my number. All right, so go ahead and so yeah, so we'll just reach out, man. We'll talk about a few things because, like I said, I when I can feel the spirit of individuals, I kind of go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. When it happens organic, it's always good.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, we're trying to get to a place from two different directions, and I think I'm on the same. I think I'm on the right path. I mean, but at the same time, you kind of have to have those that and even Nisimo. I want her to be a part of all of that too, and I'll talk to her on a personal level.
Absolutely, and I miss her. Where's she at?
Sometimes she's a mover and a shaker, so you never know.
Yeah, she gets fired up.
And she pop up pissed off. Big Vi, I have him come through and all that stuff. So I mean, because it gets pretty good over here. And Big Vi, he's taking a back seat on doing lives and stuff like that because I'm kind of out front a little bit more than he is now. So it's a little bit different. Like the whole demographic has changed.
Mm-hmm.
With our sector and how he was doing it. But, I just want to do things different. And I kind of stated that from the beginning. Like, there's no secret. I'm like, we're going to talk about some things and we're going to connect them. And you won't be able to disconnect them once I tell you how I connected them.
Right. Right. Well, and that's what I got out of it from the first night that we came on here. Because you know how George picked your site that night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so yeah, he's like, "Hey, come over here because I'm signing off and these guys are watching the election results and everything else." And so, I sat there and listened to y'all talk. And then the next night, I listened to y'all talk. And and it's exactly like you said, I'm hearing the exact same things that I've been saying and thinking from a completely different angle. I came from the political angle. You guys came from the R. Kelly angle, and guess what? It's all the same. We
Right.
ended up the same place.
Right. It literally, like, it's all the fucking setup. It's all connected and shit. And like,
Yeah.
I watch conspiracy theory shows. Like, one of my favorites that just went off the air is La Brea, that was on NBC. I don't know how they could make something so fucking profound. But they and they canceled it early, like they always do, because they fucked up Manifest.
Mm-hmm.
Fucked Manifest all the way to shit.
Yep.
Sent it to Netflix to die.
Yep. And now you guys know who Andrew Tate is, and he's going through the exact same thing.
Same shit. Being lied on. Allegations are levied all the time against him. Can't move for a female saying he took it.
Right. Right.
When he's a decent looking guy, he look like he got to take too much of shit.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, oh yeah. So here we are.
Crooked world we live in. That's all that is. That's all that I gather from it. But like I said, we're gonna go ahead. Like I said, on the community chat, I'm gonna throw something in there.
Okay.
And make sure that we
And I got something in private chat for you as well.
Okay, since you subscribed that very night. You know what? And Kilroy girl, I'm glad. I mean, I don't know how deeply you were into the R. Kelly thing, or knew anything about it. But when you look at it from the perspective, and it's, I would say it may be slightly slanted in R. Kelly's favor, but that's when you play things down the middle, sometimes you slant towards. I'm like, wait a minute, why the fuck would he have to hold anybody hostage?
Right.
And then remember, but they told me he held people in basements and stuff in Atlanta, and that
he didn't have no basement.
It didn't even have a basement.
Right.
He didn't even have a fucking basement, man. That's the craziest shit I ever heard.
Well, and Donald Trump reached through a security glass in a presidential SUV to grab a steering wheel. I mean, what the hell?
What the what?
Oh yeah, he's crazy as shit. He's the baddest motherfucker on the planet, man. I'll kill us all. I don't give a shit.
Yep. And I stay in the Super Saiyan form all the time.
I got Donald Trump. You all will die in the crash. I'll survive. I always survive. Can you imagine?
And I won't just survive. I'll come out of it stronger than I was before.
and we're gonna make America great again. You damn right. No matter what. No matter what.
Yep. I mean, the dude said from the outset, whenever all this silliness started to kick off, he's like, hey, I can be, president from jail.
Donald Trump, one of the most famous fucking men in America.
In the world.
In America at the time.
Yeah.
Takes a wildebeest.
Yeah.
Like E. Jean Carroll into the bathroom to try to finger bang this nasty woman.
Ugh.
And try to get chlamydia on his fingers. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
I think she wished.
I mean,
yeah, that's not even the worst part. Because, I mean, if you listen to any of that, she had no times, no dates. A lot of her story not only could not be corroborated, but things that she said that she wore and had and that sort of thing hadn't even been invented yet. The outfit that she said she wore hadn't been invented for like another 4 years after she said the incident happened. Just things like that. And it's crazy. And it's all a big pile
of shit.
Yeah, that's why dead on appeal. She's never going to see any of it.
E. Jean Carroll is probably one of the most handsome men that I've ever seen in a woman's body. She's very handsome.
Hey, whatever, I don't want to question what your thing is or
No, I'm not saying it in a good way, man, at all. Very, very handsome.
I didn't want to cast any shade
She's
or
a
anything,
manly,
it's
she's a manly
it's
looking
your show, you do what
motherfucker,
you
man.
want,
No, I love women. She's a ugly some bitch. Swear to God, she's hideous. Very, very, very handsome. Strong features.
Yeah.
I'm talking about them cheekbones is strong like what's his fucking name? The fucking actor. Good Lord. Shit, it don't even fucking matter. Fuck them all. I mean, I don't understand how they can do the shit that they do and get away with it. The government is.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know either because I mean, it's obvious what's going on, but they do it anyway, and they act like nobody can see or understand. Like, I don't know, maybe they think it's too complicated for everybody. I don't know what the deal is, but I mean, palace intrigue. That's what Americans live for. Look at the trash they watch on TV.
Definitely straight garbage. But once they realize they have nowhere to go, then they always come back home to the real shit. Yeah, so so got bots running around and shit, but not tonight.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen. Ease on out of it.
Yep. So I tell you what, man, we'll revisit tomorrow. Get back into the game, and I will talk to you guys. I enjoy you. I enjoy the chat. Much love.
Yes,
and on that note, I guess we are absolutely up out of here. Okay.
All right, gentlemen.
All right, you all have a great night.
All right, you all too.
All right.
How long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we say fuck this piece shit and grab them clappers? How long before we lose our voices shouting Black Lives Matter? How long we gon' keep letting them disrespect our president? How long we gon' keep letting them terrorize our residents? I'm sick of this shit. It's word to Bernie Mac. How long before we police ourselves, take our own streets back? How long for Uncle Tom here and hate on this shit? How long before they take a shot at me for making this shit? How long I gotta wait for justice for Josiah Shaw? How long we gotta fake it till we can take it and whack them all? How long we not gonna make these youngins pull their pants up? How long we gon' keep letting them shoot us down with our hands up? How long we gon' keep killing our own and making these streets hot? How long will what I say to you stay with you when the beats stop? How long's your attention span? How long you watch the news? You ain't down to shake shit up with the rebels for the cause? I ain't talking to you.